Alrighty then, mic check, mic check. Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is another Mentorship Monday. My name is Vinny. Let's get to it. Tonight, I am going to do two reviews from our members. I'm going to be walking through all of their trades. We're going to talk about it. We're going to give feedback. We're going to critique. We're going to help. We're going to assist. We're going to see the good things, the bad things, everything in between. We're going to do two of those, one at the beginning, one at the end, and with questions in between. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Don't forget, trading is risky before we get rolling, but if this is the thing for you, this might be the place for you. Let's go. Welcome aboard, everyone. What exactly is out the box, and why do our traders absolutely love it? Michael Oates room. Alrighty then, so hopefully everybody's got a chance to get in here with our live stream tonight. Don't forget we are on open mic. Actually, let me check. I do not have don't have the room open here to see. Can you guys see me all right? Can you guys hear me? Hello, hello, mic check, mic check. So I'm doing something new with this. So we're on the new page over here. So I just want to make sure that we're good. Are we good? Okay, I see some people typing. But I need to, give me one moment here. I need to open up the actual window so I can see what's happening. Okay, there we go. I think I see a little bit different. Let me get this set up for the first time here. Sorry folks, bear with me. I think if I turn the quality level down over here, it'll make it easier for me. Loud and clear, okay, perfect. And I think I can now see the chat. I'm gonna do a pop-out chat here, so that we can see that as well. And there we go. Okay, pop this over to the far right. Okay, now I think we're good. Okay, so let's get into it here this evening. I told you guys first things first. I'm gonna go straight into some live reviews from some of our members. If you would like me to review some of yours, again, tonight is all about Mentorship Monday, not specifically training on, anything particularly new. We've already done all the training. All the training is out there on our new website, algoboxpro.com. Make sure if you have not already created an account over there, I do want to make sure as we move over to this new website that you guys are creating an account there. It will be advantageous into the future. At the end of this month, we'll be releasing another version with updates to performance enhancements, and it will be linked back to your account there on the website. And it'll be cool for downloads. You guys won't need to come and say, hey, where's the download link? Somebody send me the download link. That's actually going to be in your own members page in the future on the new website. So check that out as well. So without further ado, I want to go straight in here tonight on the left-hand side. If you guys want to put your video review right here, trade vids for review. And if you want to come on the microphone with me here tonight, I am in the microphone room here on the left with Vinny Jams Live. If you'd like to get on the microphone, ask questions here this evening, we'll go there. In the middle of these, as I go through both of these videos here tonight with a session review, I think you're going to get a lot from these. I already watched one of them earlier, and really good stuff here. Lots of things to talk about that I think you're going to get a lot from here this evening. And then in between, go to the Ask Vinny question section. If you have specific questions you'd like me to answer here tonight, if you don't want to come on the microphone, that's okay. Go into the Ask Vinny questions section right here, post them in this location. I'm going to be starting from the bottom and move my way up and catch up on all the questions that we've had over the last couple of weeks. Again, last week we did not have a Mentorship Monday because of the holiday there with Memorial Day. But we will try to catch up here this evening. So it's going to be a longer one tonight, but we are going to get into a lot of good stuff. So let's start right now with some of that. Let me get back to, there you go, trade vids for review. Let's go into this one here. Watch me trade. This is from Neodrox, posting this one in for us here. Let's take a peek. Oh, he's got a cool little intro for us. Sorry for the low quality, let me pop it up. Oh, this looks fun.
Delta Vi building.
All right, we got some Corinthians 16:13 down here.
Delta Vi building.
Okay, first thing right off the bat, I've already got some critiques. If your screen looks like this, what jumps out? What's wrong here already? What do you guys see? Tell me what's going on. Pop quiz, everybody. Let's see how many people in the chat can tell us what's going on here. How does he solve the problem that we got going on here? What do y'all see? What's going on? Not enough data. Yes. Okay. If this is you, now mind you, he's doing market replay here. So I want to say a couple things. You might be running into this situation as well. He's on market replay. So depending on how he's approaching market replay, let's go ahead and talk about this. This should not be normal though if you're in a live environment. And if it is, it might be because of a couple things. We just talked about this recently, which is why I want to hit it right now. On a Sunday night, or particularly after a long holiday weekend. We had a lot of people just freaking out on Tuesday after the Memorial Day weekend, and I made that video for you guys. Sunday and or a long weekend, Memorial Day holiday type of scenario, you're going to come in and you're going to go, what's up with this? Why don't I have data? Remember, you're going to have Saturday, you're going to have Sunday, and in a case like this where you've got going all the way to Tuesday, you got Monday. So a lot of people, again, just freaking out because their charts weren't filled in. You need to go and you can make an adjustment or just understand why that's happening, right? Understand why the data is not there. It's because it's, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is missing on your charts. And the way that we've got it now, again, you can go and adjust your sessions to not include Saturdays and Sundays if you want. There's lots of complicated ways to do that, but just know that this could be happening to you. Now, another thing is, what if you're on market replay? I keep pressing escape to the right click. Sorry, I'm gonna get used to this again. It's been a while. So on market replay, if you're doing market replay and you're selecting a single day, okay, so he's choosing, can I see a date on this? It says market replay. Looks like he did. I think he's doing European style numbers, so I got to think about this backwards. I think he's doing 4/13 for those of us in the US here. So January, February, March, April. So he's doing April 13th. Okay, so he went and grabbed this day. So if he didn't grab the day before, so if you're having market replay and you want to see the stuff in front of it, then if you're going to play market on 4/13, what else do you need to get? You probably need to go get at least one more day's worth of data. So go get 4/12. Does everybody understand that? If you understand that with market replay, type in market replay. If you are lost with that, write in like IDK. I don't know. Okay, but you understand why on market replay you would need to get a secondary day. Type in market replay. That means you know it. You know what's up with market replay. This will ingrain it in your head. If you're on market replay and your data is missing, you got it. Market replay. You got it? Very cool. If anybody has specific questions about that, let me know. So some of his data is missing because he's in market replay. So that was a little bit of a trick question, but I want to ingrain this in you. And again, other people are going to come and ask these questions. When I teach the core of our team here, what I want you guys to do is when people come into our room and have questions, then you guys are also feeding that down. I am trying to create leaders here, leaders of leaders, right? Let's go. All right. So, and I keep pressing escape. Everybody tell Vinny, stop pressing escape. Right? Maybe if you guys write it for me, I'll remember. Stop pressing escape. I need to right click and then that won't happen. There we go. Stop pressing escape. All right. So that's what's going on here. So I would like to, I'm already annoyed by this. I would want to see this. I would be going and grabbing another day's worth of data so that I can see what's over here on the left if I'm going to be practicing higher time frame stuff. Let's go.
Harmonic pattern. Yes, on the ones.
Thank you, John.
Delta cell building.
Stop it.
Harmonic pattern. Yes, on the ones. Harmonic pattern. Dow Jones on the twos.
Okay, now as I'm starting this, okay, pause the music. Okay, do y'all hear this music? All right, somebody tell me what's going on with this music. How does everybody feel with this music? Let me rewind it and play it just again. Listen to this music. What is this music making you feel like? Describe this music.
Delta cell building. Harmonic pattern. Yes, on the ones. Harmonic pattern. Dow Jones on the twos.
Okay, first thing I saw was noisy. Somebody said relaxing. I would say there's something, I'll give a hint. There's something problematic about this music. If I said that there was something problematic about this music, what would you be saying? Is it sleepy? Negative feeling, yes. I think this is the first thing that I am picking on here is that with the music that he's chosen, I'm already feeling anxiety. I'm feeling stress. This is a stressful style of music. It is a It's almost a heartbeat inducing music, but not in a good way. You guys have watched my videos around resonance and frequencies. There's a lot of studies on this. This is not the music. Yeah, don't like it. The thing is it's not about music that you like or not like. In fact, he may like the music, okay? You may like the music. It is not about what you like, but I am telling you, there are psychological things. Well, it is sped up too, that's true. Let me see what speed it's at. No, it's actually at normal. It's not even, I'm not even speeding this up. It might be sped up. I don't know on his video if he actually sped it up or not, but I can just say that this type of music is stressful. So make sure one of the keys in when you are trading, I have a whole series, folks. If you don't trust yourself to pick the music, I have a series of lots of good music that is going to be a custom that's good for trading. Now, we have community music. I don't even trust community music. Trust me, I have gone through it. Listen to it. Some people are good, some people are bad. I'm just going to be honest, right? I leave it open to the community. You guys are feel free to, like, if you like some music and you can pick and play, but you need to start catching an ear to why I choose the music that I choose. It is not because, oh, it's just a style of music that Vinny likes. There is a bravado to it that will bring an enhancement to what you're doing by the frequency that's going on to it, the resonance, the feeling that it gives you, an uplifting feeling, not a down, not a stressful feeling. This is very stressful style music, so keep that in mind. Everybody in the chat, help me out and type in stress-free music. Stress-free music, but I don't want sleepy music. I'm not trying to say to be careful of when you go stress-free music. Don't go and like get Zen music. I don't want any yoga style music. You need to have upbeat, uplifting music, okay? But stress-free music, this is very stressful style of music right here. I'm already feeling the anxiety as I start this, okay? So careful of that. Let's go. Feels like doom and gloom coming.
Fibdot, Dow Jones on the
Like
5.
something very bad is about to happen.
Fibdot, Dow Jones on the MACD. Fibdot, Dow Jones on the 2. Order filled.
Okay, takes his first trade. What does he get? Looks like it's a headshot to the long side. So, did he take a long? Yes. Can we see why we would take longs? Yeah. So first thing we should be analyzing is what's on our MACD histogram. Looks like green across the boards. Okay. You can't see it behind my video over here. In fact, I'll take my video off here so you guys can see it. But yes, that should not be there. Let me take this off. Boom. Okay. So you see green across the boards. So he took a long. Good play here. Headshot entry. Pretty far behind on this one. Again, one of those ones that sometimes this is a critique on a lot of folks. He's not the only one that gets this far behind on these types of entries, but this is, there's just a lot of ticks being given up on plays like this. If you're going to be taking a headshot, you really have to have stalked it. He should have already had his finger over the buy. Why would you have had a buy over this? Number one is because he's got the green across the boards, so we already know he's seeing this is on what timing? That is king timing. Could he have already had his finger over that? Yes. Is there any other instrument that is on king timing at this moment? Look, across the boards. Not really. Closest one to it is this one over here. Would he have been on that one since that's a red right there? No. So should he have already had his finger over the buy button on YM? Yes. Okay, this is going to be the one. He could have stalked this, and he could have already been ready for that play and not been behind on this. Everybody understand why he's behind on this? Why he's slow? Okay. Like by the resolution's too low for me to tell how big of a difference that is, but if I had to estimate, that's at least 5 or 6 ticks behind on that entry. So could he have stalked it? Yes. You need to be able to stalk your trade positions. Should have had a finger over the buy market button. Why? Because of king timing. You guys watch my videos in my small account challenge or any of my like market replay videos. What am I doing? I'm literally like almost counting the bars until it gets to a king timing. You guys will hear me say this all the time. You hear me say, okay, I got about 2 or 3 more bars till king timing. And then I'm like, okay, I'm on king timing. Okay. Remember, I've got my finger over which side? How do I know I've got my finger over the buy? Because MACV is what color? Everybody tell me, what color did I just say? MACV Ultimate across the boards is what color? Yeah, Michael G said he swears by king timing. You can tell it's sped up. Yeah, it probably is sped up, but I think that even at sped up, I still think that music, it feels pretty stressful, even if it wasn't. I don't know. Maybe I'd like to hear the music when it's not. But if you if you are going to speed it up and play it, you should probably do. Yeah, I mean, he's going to need to do an overlay of that afterwards. But yeah, just a note there. Green, right? So I know since it's green, this is not rocket science, right? Then I should have a green. I got my finger over a green button, which is going to be this one right here. So could he have gotten this immediately? Okay, because some people are like, well, it goes so fast, Vinny, I couldn't have gotten it. Folks, I don't want to hear these excuses. Like, all those are excuses. And you guys know what I say about excuses? Excuses are like buttholes. Everybody's got them, and they all stink, all right? So don't have, you know, nobody needs any extra buttholes, no excuses. This needs to be closer to that entry on that headshot. You're giving away free money. Now, if you are going to be behind, this far behind on this play, what is he going to have to do with his targets because he's behind? He's got to bring that target in, right? Because if a headshot is going to hand out 10 ticks, right, 10 to 15 on a small, and he's already given up 5, you guys get it? Okay. Now, I've also recently added something for people who are constantly finding themselves behind. If this is you, if you are that person who, you know, raise your hand if you are always behind on these entries, we do have something to help out and mitigate that a bit. I'm going to launch up my Ninja Trader here and show you guys some of our new ATMs and talk about discussing when and where we should be using some of those. Darty said, I made all other timings besides large and king transparent. Yeah, so Darty, you're talking about a video that we just put out. So while my Ninja Trader is launching here, I'll go ahead and point to that video that Darty is talking about.
Delta by building.
The SMLK lines to make you have those enhanced. There are a couple of options for doing that right here. Setting up your SMLK timing lines. If you want it to only be large and king so that those really stand out to you, you can do what I did in this video. Go watch it, and I'll show you those steps to how to make those pull out where you've got small and medium removed. Or one of our members also suggested, rather than absolutely removing them completely, let them still be there, but you can fade them. Look at the options in this video, and you'll see where you can also fade those instead of remove them, and you can set them to a higher transparency, lower transparency level, so that they don't stand out as much, so that the king and the large timings stand out a bit more. Great little tips there as we're going through on our Mentorship Monday. That's what we kind of do here. So heading over here into our ATMs, I'm going to come down here to this small. Everybody is familiar with small and big. And now we have a couple of others that are going to join us. I'm going to hit the drop down here and show you some of the others. One is called Tiny. And this is the one that I'm going to reference to those of you guys who are always, you find yourselves behind all the time. Okay, know your weakness. Okay, if this is a weakness, then turn your weakness into a strength. Okay, if you're always behind on those and you're behind by 5 ticks, 4 or 5 even, or sometimes more, then you're either going to have to squeeze in your targets or just start with a different ATM. Does everybody understand that? So what does this ATM do for us? So now this is going to be a 5 and a 10. So if you're always 5 ticks behind on that, you can use that 5. This is also one for those of you guys who I recommend all the time, don't be trading ES directly, okay? There's sort of like the no ES rule. You should not be trading the ES directly unless you absolutely have a 100% perfect reason for trading ES. ES should be your guide, but not what you execute on in general, in my opinion, as you are approaching our systems, unless the markets are what? What's the exception? When should I trade the ES in general? What are our rules? Let's pop quiz that and see who gets this right. When should I trade ES instead of, say, NASDAQ, Russell, Dow, kind of our go-tos? Yes, when it is fast. When the volatility is what? Yeah, somebody said VIX 30 plus. Those are good answers. Yeah, high VIX, but we're talking about not just high VIX, super high. Super duper high. Okay, I'm drilling this into you right now because I had one of our members just recently who was struggling, went on their first of today's goes live, and the first thing, like, he's over there trading ES. It's like, I'm like, why are you trading ES? And then he's also still trading the small ATM. What does ES do? ES doesn't move that far. It's a heavy beast. It moves less. It moves literally half. It's why they pay you double. Okay, double for your trouble. They pay you $12.50 per tick instead of $5 per tick. Okay, So you only need half the move. Does everybody understand that? You only need half the move to make the same amount of money. So if I'm going to do a small, okay, normal size, ES, I mean, the markets better be cranking, right, if I'm going to get the heavy beast to move. I hope everybody understands that. I'm trying to drill that in here tonight. That's what we're talking about. Okay, I say these things, but now let's put it to play. Okay, there's knowledge and then there's wisdom. Wisdom is the application of knowledge, so let's be wise tonight here. Okay, we're going to apply it. There we go. Okay, is that drilled in? So tiny, there are also some called bigger. Now, why did we add these? This is because some of our members have started moving up higher time frames, which is fine. The volatility is so high right now, perfect time to do it. I just realized this is renamed wrong. Whoops. That's supposed to be 20. just found a bug. I got to fix that in our next release. That is actually internally on bigger. That is 2025, not a 1525. Yeah, whoops. And actually, I think it might be, hold on, let me look at it real quick. Let me make sure I actually released it properly. Yeah, and it's not even a 25, it's a 30. Oof. So I left it, I think when I renamed it, yep, I kept it. It's supposed to be a 2030 for bigger. This is for the, I mean, it's big, it's exactly what it says, right? We've got big and small, it's always been there. We've always been our staple, big, small, okay? But then we've got tiny for ES, and in scenarios where I'm finding people being behind, I think tiny is going to be used way more often. But then there is the scenario of bigger. There are some folks who are trading super high time frames, like starting at the 6s on the algo bars, okay? And if that's you, well then, are you saying there's no sound? You can't hear me? Can you guys still hear me? I heard somebody say you couldn't hear me. See somebody else saying check. Mic check, mic check. Let me know if you guys can hear me. We're good? Okay, maybe it's just some other people having some problems. Okay, gotcha. So the, yeah, that's mislabeled. You know, bigger, you guys get the point. I do need to change the label and the name of it. That's supposed to say 2030 with the 25 tick stop. Okay, so those are in the latest release. So take advantage of that on high time frames. So if you're executing up here on the 6s, for instance, now we've got bigger targetings. Just as simple as that, right? Higher time frame. Or since the markets are moving so fast, we're getting opportunities on the MACV chart way more often lately. I mean, it's just been absolutely awesome. And in a middle section here, after we finish out with the review here on Neodrox's video, I'm going to show you guys some of the setups that came on the higher time frames, because this is the other thing I think people are struggling with a lot, is learning how to read off of the high time frame to know which instrument that you should be trading in play, what's in play, and which one is going to have the higher probability because there's a play on the higher time frame. Some of you guys are, you know, I've told you, you can be, you know, Machine Gun Kelly here, where you just basically fire off on just these three charts, right? But you have to be willing then to take a few more losses here, and you know, you're firing using a machine gun, you're going to miss some bullets, okay? You're not sniping here. If you want to be a sniper where you've got that, you know, limit in on your filtering, then you need those higher time frames to wait for a setup to come in on the higher time frame, then come into the lower time frames to execute here. So some items that we'll talk about here after we get through the rest of this video, but wanted to pause that right there on this scenario, because this is exactly the scenario that I know that some of you guys are having, because I've seen this a lot with traders, and it comes from not stalking the trade, okay? You want to stalk the trade, meaning you're ready for it. You do not want to react. You do not want to be surprised. You're like, I know something's about to happen. I know it's coming. It's about to hit. And you know why? Because of the timing lines coming right up on that timing line right there. You should have your finger over the trigger. There we go. All right, carry on. So he gets into his headshot, green headshot, he says.
Target filled.
Boom, he gets it. Okay, that's good. I mean, he got it, but imagine, I think that was a single toe in the water. It looks like a single contract, no two target scenarios. But you see how far that went? Could he have gotten 10 and 15 out of that play? Yes, he could have, right? But this is just because he was so far behind it, he's only getting target 1. In fact, if he had target 2, let's see how this plays out. I don't know if he would have gotten a target 2 being that far behind. Let's see. Oh, see, it spins right in front of it.
Hit dot.
Let's
Russell
see
on
if
the
it
twos.
goes.
Harmonic pattern. Yes. On the right.
Yeah, it does. Oh, and he's got a lineup above him there. So, you know, good play. Great headshot play there, but could have been one where we could have gotten more out of that play, right? So the critique on that is could have gotten more out of that, could have stalked it a little bit better, gotten a little bit earlier on it. And if you're going to be behind on those, then use the tiny and push targets out if you think you're going to get that run. And he's got everything with him, right? He had all of the MACVs all in that direction. So great play to take a shot at that one. Good stuff. Good one for trade one.
Hit dot. Yes. On the ones. Hit dot. Yes. On the freeze.
Okay, he's looking around.
Hit dot. Russell on the twos.
Stressing me out.
Hit dot. Yeah, harmonic pattern. Yes. On the ones.
I can feel my heart rate
Order
increasing
filled.
right now, and not in the good way. All right, he just entered in on, he said, red PRZ cross. Now, I'm nervous about him going short here. Okay, he just went short. Why? Just in general, what do you guys think? What should he be cautious of going short here? Why, in general, should we not be going short right here? That is a PRZ cross, okay, valid. But why would I be a little nervous about him taking a red PRZ right here? Green MACV ultimate. Simple as that. You guys are getting it. Folks, the MACV across the boards, all four are green right now. These are the ones that you are going to give up money on. Or, I will say, this is where tiny comes into play, okay? If you're going to go against the grain, then please be quick about it, okay? You're not going to be getting big plays off of this. You might not even get target one. Your max that you should be getting is target one out of a play that is against the grain. Everybody get that? You're going with the grain. Yes, MACV green. So a red is a riskier play. So what am I doing on a riskier play? I am taking a smaller target. So I'm concerned about him taking this play here. It might work out, okay? But nervous. Another thing, what is he trading? What's wrong with what instrument is this? Pop quiz. What instrument is he trading that would also make this less likely to get to target one? Yeah, he's trading ES, right? This is a heavy banker, paying you double for your trouble. You only need half the move, but he's still trying to get a full move here. That's a full 10 ticks he's got down there. Now, I know it looks like he's only got target one, but target one on an ES on the ones, look at the time frame he's entering in on. On the ones, you're already tiny level here, okay? But he's trying to get a medium play out of a small. Think about this. He's trying to get a medium play out of a small, not even small. This is a tiny play that he should be getting out of this. He's on, because he's on the ones, lowest time frame. I would even give this a little more credit if this was up on even a twos or a threes. This is very, very nerve-wracking for me that he's taking a short right here. Okay, everybody understand that? How do we play reversals? Vinny, are you new? You must be completely new. We always play reversals. I'm going to talk about this real quick. Think about the question here. Okay, I know what he means, but here's the ignorance of traders when they say stuff like this. Okay, the question is how do we play reversals? What is a reversal? Well, his definition in his head, he's thinking some big play, right? Some big up move and then a full reversal back into something. Okay, like this is unfortunately what people think about with reversals. And then something coming way down and then they're like, oh, it's going way up. And they're trying to catch this. This is what they mean by reversal. What do I teach as a reversal? I say that everything is a reversal. Okay, everything is a reversal. Even if you are doing a continuation play, okay, what is this right here? Is that a reversal? What about this? Is this a reversal? It is. Okay. This is why I say it's a little bit of an ignorant question. We don't ask that question here. I know you're new with us, but I'm going to drive it home to you and a lot of other people here tonight. Everything we do here is about finding reversals, my friend. Everything. We are trying to find a pivot. Here's what I talk about. Pivot plays. You get my point. I can't fit it here. Okay, but pivot plays. Of course we want to pivot. What is a pivot? It's a definition of a turning point. Okay, but when you say reversal, I know what you mean. You're like, well, full reversal. How do I play reversion to the mean? All these, again, this stuff. That's why you guys lose, right? And I don't want to say you guys, but I'm saying people outside of us like get into this mindset that you're trying to find like full-on reversals of like finding a perfect level, and you're talking about support and resistance traders. Okay, we can play everything. Our system is capable of doing all of the above. And now, is a turning point up here? Is this a reversal? Yes. Can I play this too? Yes. So he's asking, how do we play these? I'll tell you. Ready? Listen up. Here's where it gets crazy. Yes. Can I play that right there? Technically, yes. Right? Is it worth your risk? That's the question. So we're actually talking about one of those right now. Neodrox here is taking a reversal up here, right? But the distance from here to here, how big is this? Very small, right? And this is what I'm emphasizing right here. This is the game changer with our system and how I'm teaching you guys to do this. If you're going to take this little reversal back down, okay, in a continuation scenario, can you make money on that? Can you grab a little bag in there? Might not be a bag, it might be like a dime bag, right? Little tiny bag. Is there anything wrong with taking that? Not really, as long as you know you're not trying to get one of these. Okay? If you understand that when you're coming and you're taking this like what he's doing right now, he's taking a red PRZ with a cross for a short up here as price is chunking along and he's trying to go short. What I'm trying to say is your expectation should not be that this is going to go like this, okay? We're not trying to catch these all the time. Now, can we catch stuff like this? Yes, but what's going to have to be there? Then we need an ultimate, right? We need an ultimate divergence. We need a alpha omega play here. We need something much more stronger than just a PRZ cross, and this is why our system is so good, because we've got powers. We've got levels of strength, okay? So yes, risk reward, good job, John. That's what we're talking about, is that I may not want to take this play, and if I do, I better keep my stop real close, because the thing, you could shoot up like this and you're not wanting to eat this play. You do not want to eat this. You got to close out quickly. Okay, with keeping that in mind, let's look at it. Let's look to see, look at this play right here. It's a good, it's a good segue, and it's good that we're, questioning it, but it's not. It's, all right. Or I can just tell that you're kind of new with it. Now, I think he's also taking it because he's got a red dot up here, right? But do we really trade a red dot by itself? No. So I think what he's doing here, he's got a red dot up top. Yeah, he did. In fact, he said it right here. A dot on the higher time frame. He got it. Okay, he's got the red dot there, and he's got the PRZ crossed on here. So I should take that into account. But I'm just nervous because what's my first thinking first? Remember, first things first. Order of operations. OOP. Oops. Right? The oops. Order of operations. I know there's another one in there, but you know my point, right? The oops tells me what's first. Mac V. Okay, so V, very careful going against this. I would love that if it was with us, but it's not. Okay, you got multiple things going on there. So let's see if this works out. This is, again, a little bit nerve-wracking. Let's take a peek.
Good dot. Dow Jones on the twos. Exit.
No, so he has to close. Okay. So, small loss, okay, but was that an avoidable loss? Yeah, in my opinion, right? That's an avoidable loss, especially the fact, all the things I said, just a lot of risk factors here. I mean, is it an absolutely wrong play? No. Were the risk factors higher? Yes. It's ES. It's on the ones. I mean, yes, he is getting one on a higher time frame too, but he didn't have, well, he did. I'm sorry, let me back up. He had one here too. So I give this, it's an okay play. it's an okay, but you know, higher risk simply because first things first. I mean, our histograms are long right now. Just very, very difficult play right there. You would want something else. Like if he had a Delta King there that says this was a finishing move, or a Alpha Omega, then you know, maybe a finishing location plus this, but with no finisher, this is just very careful, right? I would be very careful on that. Just, you know, word to the wise, focus on that MACV. Again, there are going to be lots of times when you play against it. You guys will see me play against it, but if I am, it's going to be quick. I'm going to be, you know, tiny in it, tiny against it. I'm going to be scalping against that. I'm not trying to make a big play out of it. And when this is trade 1 or 2, another thing, think about your play time. I'm only in trade 1 or 2. I'm trying to build here, okay? I don't want to take risks at the beginning. It's not good. You really want to start to build up that equity in the morning on that. Well, in this case, I say morning. It could have been in the afternoon. But I'm saying the beginning of my session, I want to build. And I'm looking at trade 1 and trade 2 that he's labeling up here, right? You guys see that? It's cool that he's tracking this. He's only on trade 1 and 2. I don't want to be taking risks really right here, right? Like I want to put some money in the bank. So I'm trying to get those early in the trade count. Okay, you got trades 1 through 5. I'm early in my trade count. I want to be banking. So carry on.
Delta cell building.
Oh, but then, wow. Okay, so now this is the spot where I might, like, this makes it a little bit better, right? Afterwards, when you get a red cross coming up in here, now we got an Alpha Omega finishing move on a king timing. Now we're talking. Okay, so I might be looking for a replay right here in this zone with a little dabble on it. But I would just say, like, that would have made me hungrier for this play, more so than the one before. But now we're cracking 2 red dots up there. So, but just seeing that right there, when you take trade 1, and if you think that's actually a good play, what should you be doing? Finger over, because you've got the 2 try rule, right? 2 try rule plus 1. So if on his first trade he was 2 contracts, next one he's going to be 3 plus. You know, take a swing at it, but still tiny. Why? Because we're against the MACV and we're on ES. All right, carry on.
It's off. Yes. On the ones. Harmonic pattern. Yes. On the ones. Delta cell building.
Boom. Now there's 2. So if he really liked that place, if there was a reason that he took this shot here, which I can't see higher time frames, and there's no levels here. But if there was levels and I wanted to look at this over here to the left, I see a pivot back here. There might have been something that was interesting here. I see a green line from prior. So maybe, right? But this is where I would reinitiate that position here. Now that I see 2 big ones, this could be, this means they're filling their orders, okay? And we're getting an order imbalance going on right here. We've got the auction imbalance firing in. This is a place that we might be able to, okay, well now we might get what I'm talking about, a real reversal worth a shot at. We're gonna maybe get that 10 and 15 ticks out of a play like this. Let's see if I'm right, I don't know. It may not, I think we're still pushing up.
Good dot. Muscle. On the 5. Good dot. Muscle.
If we were re-entering short right here as a 2 try rule, where would my stop have to be? Above that little red cross, right? What's the target? You see the cipher right there? It's got your target there for you. Okay. Let's see if it goes. So the question is does it go to that target before it bumps over the red cross? Let's see.
On the way. Harmonic pattern. Muscle.
Timing, it should drop right now. If it doesn't drop, then you close it.
Good dot. Muscle. On the way.
And it's bouncing around right there. That's nerve-wracking. No, closing out that position. Okay, so it didn't go. So this is a scratch play right here, but this is where, you know, I'd be willing to go ahead and take a little more when I've got, you know, some scenario like this if I'm going to be playing the ES. But then also quick to bail, right? If it didn't work out, didn't get all the way down there, didn't go, and it's farting around with it, just exit. Don't get any extra points for getting right.
Fib dot. Nap fib dot. Fib dot. Long. With fib short. Look for a short. Delta fib dot. Long. Fib dot. Fib dot. Fib dot. Nasdaq on the 5. Fib J short. Look for a short. Long. Look for a delta cell building. Short. Fib dot. Nasdaq on the 5. Fib dot. Nasdaq on the 5. Fib dot. Nasdaq on the 5. Fib dot. Nasdaq. Fib dot. Long. Look for long.
Okay, I'm not sure why he's having to fart around with his charts a lot. Neodrox, I'm just curious, you know, it feels like a lot of fiddling. I've told you guys about one of my things about fidgeting. Don't fidget. Don't fiddle around with your charts. Okay, remember, the system is doing all the work for you. I think some of you guys, you come from ICT. You know, Neodrox actually is ex-ICT. Okay, there's ICT wants you back there like, oh, look over to the left, look over to the left, drawing stuff. You always got to be touching your chart. It's like, he makes you feel like you're getting paid for touching your chart and doing all this stuff. You don't, like, relax. Let the system, let the tools do the work. Let it lay out for you. I don't know why you're moving all these around and stuff, unless there's some technical issue, what was happening there. But I don't see a reason to be fiddling around with those. So just another thing, don't fidget. Okay.
Fit off, NASDAQ, fit off, NASDAQ, fit off, fit off,
Save your
NASDAQ, on the
energy
right.
for executing
Fit
on
off,
the button.
NASDAQ, on his, fit off, NASDAQ, fit off, NASDAQ, on the map, fit off, NASDAQ, Delta 5 building, short, look long, look, fit off, NASDAQ, on the 5, fit off, NASDAQ, on the fit off, net long, look for long.
Now, I think he might be doing this because I think he knows he's doing a demonstration. I do this too. When I know that people are watching me, okay, I'm doing more stuff, but he should have his finger resting. Let me talk about this. His finger should be resting over a button. I don't care which one you're doing. You need to ask yourself, which one is likely to play right now? Okay, anytime you're waiting, let's talk about this. Anytime that you are waiting, your mouse needs to be in a zone. Let's talk about the mouse zone. Okay. Mouse zone of rest. Should be here or here. Why is that? Who can tell me why your mouse should not be resting in, say, this entire zone? And why should it not be anywhere in this zone? Talk about this. The zone of rest, make it nice and bright here. Go blue here. Okay. We want to be in the blue zone. This is where my mouse should be resting. Why do you guys think that is? As a gamer, as we're approaching the markets like a video game, I want my mouse resting in here. Ready? Stand by, ready for entry, trigger finger ready. Yes, this is the trigger zone, right? What zone pays you? Are we trying to get paid? We are trying to get paid, right? So what buttons can I press to get paid? Down, this, and this right here, okay? This is the trigger zone. This is the zone that pays you. Nothing else pays you. All you're clicking on the chart, all you're moving the charts around, all that kind of stuff does not get you paid, okay? But it does get you delayed. Listen to that. Here comes your rhyme and reason. You know me, Dr. Seuss, here we go. Over here, you are not getting paid, but you are getting delayed. Everybody understand that? This is no paid, getting delayed, and for the guys, it's the other word that says, like, you're also not going to get, okay, none of that. No fun here. Understand? No fun. Over here, fun. Fun zone, pay zone, okay? So if you're going to shift your mouse from here to here, here to here, here to here, got it? Here to here. That's it, okay? And stay out of the black zone even, right? Like, keep your fingers over the triggers. Now, don't accidentally click the buttons. Yeah, and stalking that prey. You're going to press the buttons here and here. Don't put your mouse hanging out in the dead zone, right? So, let's talk about, but which one, okay? Because, like, well, in general, you could just set it right here, right in the middle of your screen. That's fine, okay? Which is why, by the way, I tell you guys, NASDAQ is the most fast market anyway, right? It's the fastest market. So don't I want to kind of hang it out here? Yeah, for me, I'm a NASDAQ player, so most of the time I'm resting my my mouse here or here, usually down here. I'll be honest, I'm usually on the smaller time frame first, because if I'm going to take a bigger time frame play, I've got more time. Think about it. Okay, I've got more time on the higher time frame, so I don't want my resting here. If I have to choose between these two and all other things the same, all other things being the same, then I'm going to rest it right here. Okay. Now, what are things, I'm going to give one thing that might make me rest it on the top one instead of the bottom one. What might that be? Things like timing lines. Very simple. They are called timing lines for a reason. Okay? We've got red, small. We've got green, medium. we've got blue, large, we've got pink, king, timing, okay? And when do I want to start to put my mouse close to a particular chart? Here, right? This means a play is coming up on this chart. You get it? Yes, blue and pink. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. That's right, Darty. I actually have a strategy around that. I think you're new with this as well, but Darty is hitting it on the head. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, and that is why we have a red to blue shift. If I've got red bars coming down, the first bar that comes up like this is the Dr. Seuss entry when it is next to a king timing plus something else. I don't want to just do this, but this is for an add. But yeah, we have that, or we have the opposite. Blue to red, boom. Dr. Seuss here, Dr. Seuss here. And these are, I'm just reviewing stuff. Everybody in my crew already knows this stuff, but no, some of you guys are new. That is Dr. Seuss entry, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. And this is to remind you that a red to blue or a blue to red, these are areas where we can add when you've got proper timings or a dot, etc. Okay, but I want to stalk and I want to keep my mouse around whatever chart is close to or approaching one of these. Got it? Let's talk about, well, how do you decide if there are two? What happens if there are two charts approaching large and king? Okay, well, now you have to make a decision based on other things. Like, well, what was the higher time frame coming in on? What was the speed of this one? Is it ES? Which one pays me more? The one that's faster. So if I have to choose between, if they're both approaching a large and a king, and the choice is between NASDAQ and the Russell, which one am I going to hover my finger over? You should instantaneously say this one because of a couple reasons. Number one, it's faster, okay? So you have to react quicker. And it's also going to pay you faster. Why is it going to pay you faster? Because it just moves faster, right? Do you want to get paid $10 an hour or $10 a minute? You get paid $10 a minute, right? So if that's going to pay you for your two contracts at 10 per tick, don't you want to move it quick? Yeah, so NASDAQ, right? So if you're both approaching here, then your mouse is hovering over the NASDAQ buttons. You guys understanding my decision making on one window, why I have all instruments? Because a lot of people are like, well, Vinny, which instrument should I trade? You're like, I'm just going to trade this one instrument, Vinny. Do you see all of the problems with that? Because I'm even just pointing out right now, like you're missing out on all of the opportunities that are showing up on other windows. And don't you want to make more money faster than less money longer? That's the point. Again, you don't have to. Everything I'm teaching you here, folks, tonight is suggestion. It is my opinion. It is how I approach the market. You guys are learning from me how to do it. If you want to do it your way, at the end of the day, you can. But I'm just telling you why we do it like this. So what is my hot zone? What is the most common section? If I had to choose one place to rest my mouse, can you guys understand why this is the hottest spot? Why is this the hot zone for me resting my mouse? Literally, actually, right here. This little tiny zone. Everybody understand it? If you understand that, type me a yes in the chat. If you don't, type me a no. I think with everything I've just told you, I believe everybody should be able to answer this question now thoroughly. This is the hot zone. This is my rest zone. I'm going to rest my mouse here, okay? Something has to cause me, something's got to draw me out and away from this location, right? I would have to, okay, what would draw me out? King timing on another place. I see king timing coming up on Dow. Do I see it? What about the Dow? Should I hang it on Dow right now? No, right? We're not even close. We're kind of coming into a large, right? So maybe this might start to tempt me. This is an example right here. I might start to look, okay, if something shows up here around that large timing, so I might start to move my mouse here, away from my hot zone down here. And why would I move my mouse away from this hot zone down here? And well, am I anywhere around any king timings? Are any king timings anywhere in sight on either one of these two charts on the NASDAQ? I don't see any, right? The last king was way back here. I don't even see one here at all, right? So now do you see why I can float my mouse? Now I'm going to go, okay, I'm going to take my mouse up here. I'm going to float it up here because the Dow is approaching a stalker zone right here, right? We're coming right into large and king. Y'all got that? You're gonna bounce. Darty, do me a favor and don't trade with us. Okay, you're too much of a flitty person. You're in and out. Like, we're talking about meat here, and you're too busy wanting to go fart around. Like, do me a favor. You don't take yourself seriously. You don't take this seriously. Don't hang out with us. All right. But thanks for at least letting us know that you're out. Okay. Right here, another one. Very, very hot zone. So between Dow and RTY, which one would I choose right now? Everybody tell. YM, if you think that I should be on the Dow. RTY, between these two. Yeah. Well, jail time, yes, but not really. Okay. Not really, Ace. No, Ace, you're confusing 2 points. This is actually good, though. You're going to learn here. Okay. Between this one, approaching 1, okay, versus RTY multiples, which one is hotter right now, RTY or YM? Everybody take your pick. Tell us in the chat. RTY or YM? Everybody try to vote here. You're not going to lose points if you're wrong, but you are going to lose points for not participating. RTY, we got a bunch. YM, we've got 1. What's the hot zone? RTY. Lots of folks getting it right. Yes. Now, I think what Ace was saying there, he was getting a little bit confused with the jail principle of what? What is jail on? All you guys who got RTY, you're 100% correct. Why? Because we've got more opportunity right here because I've got more zones lining up here. Okay, this is a hotter zone, 100%. Easy decision. Hot zone is here. My mouse is hovering here over the buttons, right? This is the hottest zone as of right now, okay? Yes, in case he put it in, MACV. What's he confusing it with is the MACV. Remember, do not get these confused. This is jail time. Jail times come on MACV charts, okay? We want those open spaces in these. That's that location there, okay? That does not apply to SMLKs. Please don't get those mixed up. I know it's easy to, but now we fix that here tonight. We good? Jail applies to MACV. Very good, Forsaken. Everybody else too. Yes, you guys are ready to teach the class. I'm so proud of you guys. Excellent work. Yes. Okay. Let's carry on some more. Hot zones. You got it? Hot zones. Let's go.
Fib dot, NASDAQ, on Fib dot short, Delta buy building.
So I'm watching RTY over here. Okay. I'm watching RTY. I want to see if he can make the transition, if he's going to move fast enough to go over here to RTY. And if he's going to be pressing RTY, if I had to pick in this hot zone, which button, buy or sell, would he be having his finger over on this hot zone here on RTY? Which one, buy or sell? Which of these 2 buttons? If I've got to narrow this all the way down to only 2 buttons. I'm seeing buy. Y'all are saying buy. Yeah. I like it. Buy. Now tell me why. Why buy? What is a very simple answer as to what he should be hovering over? Remember, I'm not even talking about pressing the button. We're just talking about hovering right now. Which one is he stalking? He is stalking that buy button. Now, why is that? How is it easy for you guys to know that? MACV is green. That is right. MACV across the boards and even on its own instrument is background solid green. You see how we make this kind of a very specific red light, green light system. We do the filtering, we let the tools do the work. And again, we could be wrong on 1 or 2. Keep the wrongs small, keep the big ones big, right? That's what we're doing. Because MACV histogram is green. Also MACV switched to red, but can still go green. Yeah. It's good, yeah, because again, he's talking about this right here, but it could switch. Yes, what's more important is the histogram, right? We've learned this through our program. Could it shift right now? Yes, right? Are we aware that it could? Yes. And this is like the warning light. We're like, okay, be careful. We could turn here, but let's make sure we've got a good reason. What's a good reason for a turn over here? Something like a big giant delta, or a alpha omega, or a divergence, okay, to go along with that. But right now, as of right now, what's it telling me? I just read right here. Filter, execute. Easy. Everybody got it? Excellent. This is our thought process. Let's go.
Fib dot, NASDAQ on the 5. Fib dot, NASDAQ on the 5. Fib dot, NASDAQ on the 8. Fib dot, NASDAQ on the 8. Fib dot, NASDAQ on the 5. Fib dot.
Okay, he's got double red dot he's showing over here. Now, what would I be nervous about with the double red dot? Algo Trader said, sir, noob question here. I'm new here. Do you enter trades only on L and King zones? We try. We absolutely try to only take them on large and King. But yes, you have narrowed that down. This is the key of timing. If you want to time those good plays, the best plays are going to come out of, usually, in general, out of those L and Ks. That is why we stalk those zones. Yes, 100%. Yeah, he's going against that MACV. Yeah, and there's really no timing here. Yeah, it's dangerous, okay? But what has he got that's working for him? Okay, I hope he's not just gonna say just red dot. He's got a lot going on here. Look, we've got a divergence. What did I tell you is a major turning point opportunity? Does he have divergence? Yes. So what I hope he's gonna turn in here is say, well, I also saw divergence coming in on the MACV. I also saw a PRZ opportunity up here, and I saw a red cross. What I'm hoping he's going to say is it's not just a double red dot. If he's going to take this double red dot, I hope he realizes that this is a good play because he's got a lot of other things here, okay? While he is going against those, he's going into the Bollinger Bands on the high time frames. He's got divergence ultimate firing off on the MACV high time frame. He's got a big white bubble over here, which is basically a PRZ cross play and divergence, and one over here. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major things, and you might even count that cross right there. 6 major things plus his entry. Everybody understand how this is a great play, even though it's nerve-wracking because he's going against the MACV? Do you understand how all of this is added to his ability to go against that because we've got all of this stuff? If you get all that, this is called confluence. He's got a lot of confluence here. He's got a ton of things about to work here for him. So if you get that, type confluence in the chat. Understand, drive it home to yourself. When you've got confluence, that's the word, C-O-N-F-L-U-E-N-C-E, confluence. Learn how to spell it, learn how to ingrain it in your head. When you've got confluence, this is the time to go against the grain of the MACV. Great play right here if he presses the button. I hope he's about to press the short button as quickly as he's saying that, because I do see all of those factors lining up there for him. Let's see if it plays.
NASDAQ order.
Oh, way behind. Oof. This is what kills me sometimes, is that so far behind on that. Let's see how many ticks that is. Okay, again, this can happen to anybody, which is why I want to drill it home. It's not just him. Just so far behind. The entry is like so far down there. It's almost, I don't know, when you're this far behind, you almost want to be like, well, I've got to be adding to my position as it comes up against it, because you want to try to be getting that entry a bit closer to that. But let's see if he makes it out there.
Filled. Target filled.
Okay. Oof, another dangerous thing. All right. So I've told you guys in the last video, first thing he did was he went and touched what? He went and touched a stop. Okay. Oh man, there's such a lesson here. All right. Did you notice what he did? He moved the stop. Now, a lot of people think that that's the right thing to do because a bunch of noob and furus will teach you this. They're like, oh yeah, first thing you do is kind of adjust your stop, put your stop where you want it to be. Not what we want to do here, okay? That's called fidgeting. What's the alternative to moving your stop, right? To moving stops around, you've got the buttons over here, okay? You can hit those on your own, All right, and a play like this, because he's so far behind on this entry, oof, I just realized how bad that is. Oof, his stop is inside of the dots. Okay, that's so hard. That's so rough. That is a tough one. He's so far behind on this that the stop is inside of the dots. This is dangerous. You know, okay, I'll make an exception here. I would grab my stop. I would have to move it back behind those dots. Like, that's just yowzers. I mean, is it messed up? Using small. Oh, that's fives. He's got that on the fives, not the threes. Okay, so he should be playing. This should probably be big. I don't know. I think he's got it. ATM doesn't even look right. I think something's wrong with his ATM. I think his ATM is too close. That's only 15 ticks. But then again, that is the fives. Sorry. Okay, so I might be rambling on a bit there. Okay, this case he is way too close on that. He might have to move that out. But in general, I want you guys to fire it off. And if you are executing properly, you shouldn't have to be fiddling around with the stops too much. I would rather your fingers be over here, ready to add to this position. Okay, he's coming up on trade number 3. This is where we want to start trying to push our positions. I think he's only doing a 1 contractor here. Now, maybe he's nervous because he's going against the MACV. Okay, but this is a scenario where he should be getting a bigger position on this. He's got a lot of things. He's got those 6 things going with him. He's got that. He's got this. He's got this. Going on a 1 contract here. Everybody understand, like, going on 1 contract here is kind of like, you're wasting a beautiful play here. You know what I mean? Like, this is you want to kind of try to load this one up a little bit. But yeah, the close button is your friend, right? So he moves the stop way up. Oof, and see, I mean, it hits his target so quick. And this is just, I was just wasted. And he's doing a small against that green there. There's just a lot of food left on the table right there. With that. All right. Let's see if he gets any more on it. Opportunity for a re-entry right there. I'd play it again.
Fib dot. Dow Jones harmonic pattern. NASDAQ on the 5.
Add to position right there. Boom. Okay. So retry part 2. I would add to this position. I would go for it short again, only because there's so much here going on with all this. I would be taking that short. We've got that opportunity target right there on that white line. Looks like another spot to go again. Let's see what happens here.
Long. Look for a long. Short. Look for a short. Long. Look for a long.
Nope, looks like it's floating. Nope, it's floating. So I would close the position right now. This is floating. So when it grinds, we don't rewind, right? When it on a grind, no rewind. Is it grinding up? Yes. All right. So I'm not trying to push that back down. So yeah, you would not have gotten anything on a retry on that one.
Fib dot. NASDAQ on the 5.
Yeah, in fact, now green dot comes in there.
Short. Look for a short.
Okay. Look where he's holding his mouse. Okay, his mouse is all over the charts, and I think it's because he knows that he's recording, so he's kind of trying to play to the crowd and be like, okay, you know, look over here, whatnot. And again, he doesn't have audio, so he's got to be, you know, talking with the mouse. That's fine, but really, he should have his fingers over these buttons over here. I mean, this looks like there could be an awesome play here. He's got, now there's double divergence here in this PRZ zone with the cross. You want to be ready. I would be having my fingers, again, in the hot zone. Look where his mouse is. He's got his mouse over here. He's got his mouse over here. He's got his mouse here. These areas don't pay you, right? These are wasted locations. I would be having fingers over the buttons. All right, just a note. Here his mouse is, see the crosshair over here. I mean, I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to point out to you, yeah, look, I see double divergence. Yeah, that's awesome. Get your finger over there, boy. Get ready to press that sell button.
Fib dot. NASDAQ on the 5s.
That's a bright red. I would want to go for that again.
Fib dot. NASDAQ on the 5s. Harmonic pattern. ES on the 1s.
Grinding up there.
Long. Look for a long.
You gotta close her out. So again, because of this, I would be definitely eyeballing an opportunity, trying to get that short first. But if it's grinding and it doesn't give a oomph, right off that racquetball play, it's grinding, stay out of the way. Okay, this could just continue on up. Now we've got 2 crosses. What could this be? This could be a double cross, double move. Now that that moon just showed up, so now what should we be doing? Measuring from this pivot to right here, projecting out, find out where that level is up above us for NASDAQ, right? Because there could be a big play coming. Why? Because this is coming off the 9s. Think about how big this play could be. This could be huge. Now, would I take a play right off the 9s? No. But is this a place where if I get a play off of the lower time frames, can I hold that runner looking for that big move? Yes. But can I do that if I don't draw the lines? Probably not. So first thing I would be doing, I would say first thing, I would check to make sure I don't have any other plays. But because this one you got time, right? You have time to draw on a high time frame. You got, you know, there's going to be minutes available in that because of how big that time frame is. But draw it out. Everybody understand DCDM? If you know that this is a DCDM, type me a 1. If you don't know this is a DCDM, type a 2. We are measuring a DCDM on a high time frame right here so that we'll know. And then even if we don't get an entry for this, what can we do with the gold line up here later? That might be a place for an awesome big reversal. Like I think it was it Darty asking about that earlier? Somebody was asking about the big reversal. Where are my big reversals going to come? They're going to come off of big levels like that. But yeah, I would want to see this to see what this is. Roxanne, you're not sure about the double cross double move yet? That's okay. Study up on the double cross double moves. There's about 3 or 4 specific videos around double cross double moves. This is very simple. You got the double cross, otherwise known as the double bubble here. Okay, because you can show them bubbles and crosses are the same, just different time frames and slightly different stops. But that's what's playing in right there. All right, let's see how he goes.
Fib dot, NASDAQ, on the 5s.
Delta cell building.
Okay, RTY is now approaching the king timing. You see this over here? My eye is drawn right here. We're coming up. We've gone through this whole little zone of large and kings. Nothing showed up, and now I've got a straight leg into a king timing. I'm looking for a play over here. What's my play? Technically, I need to be on the green side first, but I want to look for a play coming in, setting up somewhere over here. Anything else on the high time frame? No, but we're approaching a king timing here, so I'll be looking right there. We just finished off on a king timing over here, but I'm looking over here and then keeping my eyeball out in this area that he's already at because NASDAQ is so fast.
Harmonic
Delta buy building.
I just noticed this too. You see that big delta right there? Another reason why this area we could get some kind of reversal here. Again, I'll be looking for that first, but in case we take off, how big and how far are we going? Well, it's going to be a very, very big move right there.
Fib dot, NASDAQ, on the MACD. Fib dot,
Delta cell building.
Fib dot, Russell, on the 2s. Long, look for a long, harmonic pattern, NASDAQ, on the 5s. Harmonic pattern, ES, on the 1s.
Okay, YM looks like it's starting to get real juicy over here. We've got 2 alpha omegas in this location here. That is the open line right here. So looking for plays over here. We're approaching large and king timing. This is a nice impulse leg into this zone. We've got the initiator of what could be the reversal back up into the highs. So I'll be looking for some kind of long somewhere around here. We've still got MACV greens across the board. We've got a big fat alpha coming in right here, and I would want to see if we can run that through to catch through an omega. We've got targets up above us here. We don't have a specific entry unless you're taking this as a naked entry right here, so you don't really want to get here yet. I'll wait for some kind of entry, but after this comes, this is like a ready up right here. With that ready up, I would be finger over the trigger on the buy button here on YM. All we need is an entry. Looks like his video froze up possibly. Speed it up. I think his video got frozen or something. It's still playing, but it's frozen. Uh-oh. Hope it's not the whole video. There it goes. Alright, so still my eyes are right here, locked in right here. My mouse would be hovering right here. Oof, NASDAQ also looking like we might have something juicy here. Tough one, but I'm going to be looking right here for everything now. Past the king timing over there, so out of play. These two right here are the hotness.
Short. Fifth dot. Harmonic pattern. Russell on the twos.
Okay, we're right into that large timing now. My finger would be sitting here on the trigger on that buy button. MACV still green across the boards, dip down, massive alpha. We've got one back behind it too, lots of orders filled in right here. So look for this to be a play zone. I'll be looking for something right here. Let's see what happens.
Order fill. Order fill. Order fill.
Oh, interesting. Went headshot short over here on RTY. Let me see what he wrote there. I didn't see what he wrote. What did he say? Blue power dot after king timing with histogram. Why not? Okay, he's drawing right here. Was there a blue dot right there? I missed it. Okay. Blue power dot after king timing with the histogram green. Okay, I see his logic right there. This would make me a lot of nervous right here with a red headshot coming into that, but okay, let's see how that plays.
Order fill. Order fill. Order fill.
Wait, he said blue, but he went long. Okay, I don't know. I think he messed up here. He's going long. I mean, wait, he's talking about a long, but he went short. Right? Did I miss something? I mean, that's what he said. He said a blue power dot, so he said, why not after king timing? That would say you want to go long, but what I see is a red headshot short. And I think he did. He went short here, which is fine. I mean, I would have done that too. Just confused by his labeling on this one, so might have just been a mess up on his part. That's all right. Let's see.
Fill. Order filled. Fifth dot. Russell on the way. Delta.
Because I did so many trades, this was my 4 and 5 trade. Because I did so many trades. Okay, not what I teach, but I understand his logic because he's going in maybe 6 contracts. Okay.
Buy building.
Harmonic pattern.
This
Dow
is
Jones
just an
on the twos.
opportunity. So know that these are opportunity counts, folks. These are, when you talk about your trades, this isn't like counting how many contracts you're trading. These are opportunity counts. I think you guys already know that. Like, I think you guys can see, you know, kind of his mistake in this, right? These are opportunities. I don't think I've got room to, right? Opportunitize. Opportunitize. You need to opportunitize that, right? But opportunities, it's 5 opportunities, not contract counts. So I don't know. I didn't teach that logic.
Fifth dot. NASDAQ on the fives. Harmonic pattern. Dow Jones on fifth dot. NASDAQ on the fives.
Now he is going against the MACV here, so he would be wise to be target 1, target 2 type of scenarios here. He's having to adjust all of his targets a whole lot. He's moved them down, he's moved them up, he's moved them down, he's moved them up. This is unsurety, this is fidgeting. Just be careful of this. Again, I would just have my fingers over the buys and sell buttons over here. Let them hit your targets. As they start to run, you can always push them out, but try not to fiddle over here. This is where you make the money, is pressing the buttons over here. Even on an emergency close button, you're going to be away from it, and you're going to be less likely to press that close button if you're over here farting around. So again, you guys got to be careful on this fidgeting.
long, look, 5 dot, NASDAQ, on 5. Short,
Yeah, and it might have been there, guys. I saw what y'all said. Rewind it. It must have been there. Yeah, there might have been a blue dot there. But he's talking about a blue dot. Everybody knows that a blue dot means long, right? Yeah, no, I totally get that. I was saying that there definitely was a blue dot, but then he didn't take a long, he went short, right? But maybe is he saying because the blue dot broke? But he didn't say it was a broke scenario where the blue dot breaks, so therefore goes short. He just said there's a blue dot, and he said, why not? A little bit weird, right? And he went short. So, yeah, but no, I get you. He probably was there. I totally get that, yeah.
look for short, harmonic pattern, 5 long, look for long. Short, look for short, 5 harmonic pattern, NASDAQ, on 5. 5 dot, NASDAQ, on 5. 5 dot, NASDAQ long,
So
look
again, look where his mouse is resting. His mouse is so far
for long.
away
Look for
from
short.
the
Delta cell
buttons.
building.
I mean, this makes me nervous. This makes me nervous that he does not have his finger over the controls. He's farting around. Look at all this farting around. Look at all this farting around. What is all this farting around? Dude, now it's going off the screen. Dude, what are you doing? You are farting around. Oh my word. Oh. Okay, hold on. What did he just write right there? What was he thinking? I was thinking it will reverse on the cross. The cross is where algorithmic activity happens as well. We have the dot on the MACV. Okay. Yeah, so I know why he's going short here. Yeah, but this is a headshot. Okay. Why is he only saying on the cross? It's a headshot. Got the headshot. Yes, it's algorithmic activity. Yes. Man, just all this working around in this play makes me a bit nervous.
5 dot, muzzle, on the 2, 5 dot, NASDAQ, on the 5 dot,
We have your
NASDAQ,
finger
on the
over the
5.
close here because you know that you're against the MACV histogram. And how are you going to do a 2-try rule? So here's my other question, right? How do you do 2-try, right? If it comes up right back past here, you close out, you stop out. If it comes back down right through here, you need to be able to be right back on that button to press it again. So yeah, a lot of critiques around this. I would go back, Neodrox, play this day again, play this again, and do it the right way. It will help you out because you don't form good habits by just trying to tell yourself that bad habits are not there. You replace bad habits with doing good habits. So that's what I would say on this one. Be careful of this.
5 dot, NASDAQ, on the 5. 5 dot, NASDAQ, on MACV. 5 dot, NASDAQ, on the wave.
Okay, now he stacked all his stops together like that. That is now a magnet for stop hunters. Right? I literally teach you guys not to do that. Do not, you can't, like, you don't want to be stacking. This is contract stacking. Now this is a gigantic red flag right here. Now if you're in a virtual account, it doesn't matter. If you're trading with one of these prop trading firms and virtuals, it doesn't matter. You're not going to be stop hunted. But when you're live, this is why I tell you guys all the time, like, mine's all clustered up and separated. I don't want a single zone of block order sitting there for them to come and pick off. So just, stuff like this. I teach you guys this stuff for a reason, right? Practice what I teach you. It's going to help you out a lot.
5 dot, NASDAQ, on the 5s. Short, look for short.
Man, this music gives me anxiety. Are y'all getting anxiety from this music? It makes me very it's a nerve-wracking music.
Long, look for 5 dot, NASDAQ, on the 8s. Harmonic pattern.
Norb just pointed out a good question. So Norb said he might have a small monitor also, and that's why he keeps moving the charts. It took me a while to stop doing that. Okay, folks, what's my solution to if you have a small monitor where you're having to do this, like, because you can't see it good enough? What do I tell you? What is the solution? If your screen is too small, what's the solution? Is it to sit there and zoom in and move your charts and do this right here? Right? What's the solution? A 55-inch damn TV. I don't know how many times I have to tell people. They're like $400 at Walmart. I saw one the other day for $350. It's $350 solution. One trade, one stop out is more than that. Okay, you guys got to get the right equipment. Right? You cannot be farting around doing this stuff and making excuses. Get the right equipment. You can't, if you're going to run a restaurant, you can't run it out of your mom's basement. Okay. This is not a bake sale anymore. Okay, bake sales can be run out of your mom's kitchen, right? But you're running a restaurant, you need restaurant equipment. Okay, get a TV. Simple. All right, carry on.
Fib dot. NASDAQ on the wave. Harmonic pattern. Russell on the twos.
Okay, again, look at where his mouse is. I mean, all this floating point, the thing starts going this direction. This is all good. And if he had his fingers over here, he could have added to position in here. As it starts breaking through this area, he could have added if he thinks it's going to keep going. Oh, there's so much right here. Hovering your mouse, folks, is a big thing. Mouse over the trigger, mouse over the trigger, mouse over the buttons, mouse over the buttons. All right, that's okay. Carry on. Let's go. This is good learning. Good learning.
Target filled. Delta by
We're
building.
here for it. Trying to help you out.
Target filled.
That's good. Okay. I mean, he's I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at you. It's just this is so dangerous. Like, there's so much being given up here by, like, your mouse. It's like you're tracking the price, but that's not, you're not going to be able to make any more money by tracking that price through by doing all that. You're just doing all this extra little, I mean, I call it work. You're doing all this little moving and fidgeting around, and it could just be, you know, going to your targets and your finger could be over the close, or you could be adding to a position if it pops back up and comes down. Like, if this comes back up this area, that's a king timing, right? So if this goes blue and then goes red, what's that? That is a Dr. Seuss entry, right? So you have this opportunity for a Dr. Seuss, but you're not going to be able to. Why? Because you're tracking the trade. Okay, so you could enter in short right there. If this comes back up a little bit, boom, and you can add to position and smash it if you're, you know, over here. And then it also emergency closes you in case the thing starts to rip up. You're farting around here and you're going to be hesitating to go over there and click the close button. There's just all these things that when I tell you guys, like, this is your controller, you got to have your hands on the controller. That's your controller buttons. Okay, carry.
Fib dot. Target filled.
I mean, fidget. Look at all this fidgeting. All this fidgeting. Nothing. You get paid nothing for fidgeting. No pay. You get no pay. No pay. All that work. And you're not getting paid. You get no pay for farting around, moving us around, taking nice pictures. Okay, that's ICT's room. Like, all they do is get paid for taking pictures of the left-hand side of their chart. Right? This is real-time action.
And colors are not colors when they're old.
Fib dot. Fib dot. Russell on the twos.
All right, so finish the position. And that's fine. Again, nothing wrong bailing out of position, particularly ahead of time when you're going against a histogram. I've got no challenges for him having closed that position out. No qualms with it whatsoever. Okay, going against that, you need to take it quick. Target one scenario, be happy with getting target one. Going against the grain. Totally get that. Awesome. What is all this? What is all this work? What is all this fidgeting? I do not understand. Oh my word. What? Okay, I'm sure early in my career I probably did this, okay? But now as a veteran of this, like, I know how costly this is to sit there and be farting around, moving this around. While he's moving all this around, can he be seeing anything else out of his periphery? Can he see any other cool plays laying out here at all? No, because he's like, there's all this wiggling around. He can't glance over here to the left because he's sitting here trying to microscope move this stuff around. It's just so many things. I want to grain this to everybody, okay? Ingrain this to everybody. I'm not just chastising on him. It's like, if this is you, if you're doing this, if you're farting around with charts, trying to see things better, what inside of a thing, you're getting too desperate to make something out of nothing. Just wait until something shows up. All of your extra work does not make you any more money. You're not making the markets do anything. The markets are doing their thing. Kick back, let the tools do the work. Press the buttons when you get a setup. That's my encouragement on that. Okay, I like what he's doing there. I think he's wiggling this around to say, hey, this is the biggest delta he's seen. Okay, biggest delta. So get ready, especially if there's a second one. You need two of them. Remember, double delta is already up, and this is not on a king timing, so it's not delta king. I think he's thinking this is delta king. Just for everybody else, this is not delta king. However, is this double delta? Yes. Should we take the next play here? Yes. No matter what it was, right? So, cool. Let's see.
Fib dot. NASDAQ on the eights.
Around. dot.
Short. Look for short. Fib dot. NASDAQ on the 5s. Long. Look for long. Harmonic pattern. Fib dot. NASDAQ on the 8 short. Look for short. Fib dot. NASDAQ on the 8s. Fib dot. Fib dot. NASDAQ on the 8s. Harmonic pattern. NASDAQ on the 5s. Harmonic pattern. Russell on the 2s.
Okay. NQ is sitting on a cipher shark right here. I would have my finger over the buy button if he gets across. Right here. Are we still? Ooh, we started to turn red. So this might be the last shot of opportunity. Mostly everything else is green. Okay, this is the first time one little piece has turned red. The majority of all others still green. First opportunity of a continuation in the direction here on a cipher shark. Shark back play back here, or a cross possibly showing up in here. I have my finger over the buy button right here. Over all other plays. I see no other plays that could set up here, so my finger would be over here. Everybody understand that? If you understand that I'm here on this hot zone, type a 1. If you don't, type a 2. Yeah, the music is knocking off your circadian rhythm. Yeah, the music is very droning, very dark. Yeah, anxiety driving. But all right, let's go. Hot zone on the NQ. Oh, look, he's picking up on it. He's picking up on it. He sees it, but where's his mouse? He cannot take any advantage of it by pointing at it, right? He's got to take advantage of it over here.
Steps, all I know.
Long. Look for long.
And colors are not
Yeah,
colors
like a
when
piece
they're
out of
old.
there. Okay. King timing now coming up over here, so that one couldn't play that, right? So now I got to move on to my next thing. Right? We're not crying over spilled milk. We don't dwell on things that didn't work out, right? We move on to the next thing. What was the next thing? Okay, next thing, I see a cross showing up on king timing. I've got king timing right here. My buttons should be over here in these hot zones. Hot zone is now right here. Everybody understand that, right? Hot zone was there for a minute. Hot zone is now gone. Where's the hot zone moved? Hot zone is right here. Everybody get that? You get that, type of 1. Right? You don't get that, type of 2. Hot zone has moved to RTY, lower time frame. Let's roll.
Harmonic pattern. NASDAQ on the 5s.
King timing.
Fib dot. NASDAQ on the 5s. Fib dot. NASDAQ on the 5s.
Okay, he's looking at NQ. Okay. There's some stuff showing up on NQ. All right. Is it still better than this? We're coming up on king timing. No problem here. Okay. Hot zone still pretty close to here. Nothing really showed up immediately. So can I see start to something over here? Yes. Okay. So let's take a peek. What's you got? What do you got setting up here?
Harmonic pattern. Fib dot.
Maybe something
NASDAQ on
there.
the 5.
Okay, but put your fingers over the buttons. Now, we've got a red dot here on NQ, right? Red dot there coming into king timings, okay? Hot zones are in. Fingers over what? Well, that's a red. You could have your finger over the cell, but you need more than that, right? You need something else to give you another red cell signal before you're going to pump that. You need a alpha omega coming in here. You need a major delta plus an entry of some type here. Do we have a major delta that came in with that? No. In fact, it's one of the smallest. Here's the big ones over here. Okay. So can you take that by itself? No. Okay. Can you get ready for it? Yeah, maybe. But it's still against what? All of these are green right now. So what should we be looking for? Do I really want to be playing anything that's going to have to be a reversal? Not really. I'm looking for a green still. So look for a green play setup. Which one has a pullback right now for a green? RTY. Okay. So still looking over here for the hot side. I looked here for a minute, but do I really want to go against that? Nope. What's my MACV? Green across the boards. What could go green right now? RTY. I'll be looking at. Maybe YM. YM is now approaching. I just saw that. YM is now approaching king timing and just came out of a cipher play. If we get a cross in here, we could push up. I see a target right there in the Gartley. So maybe here. But again, this is a video game. Now we're just waiting for the plays. Press the buttons when they show
Harmonic pattern.
up.
Yes, on the 1s. Fib dot. Fib dot. NASDAQ on the 5s.
Green to pink. He's got a pink
Harmonic
dot
pattern.
in play. Okay. So now pink is very, very strong. And now what do you got? Ooh, baby. You got divergence coming in there with it with a pink dot. Okay. And we got king timing here. We might have a little turning point here. First one is really still, again, if you're going to play one, still going to be a 10 or 15 ticker tops. Okay. Still going against the grain. Got to be quick on the draw. If we're going to play here, you got to play and you got to play quick. But it does look like we might have a quick short opportunity coming in here on the NASDAQ. Let's see if he plays that.
NASDAQ on the 5s. $50. Dow Jones on the 2s. $50.
Okay, if he's going to take it, he should take it now. Okay, he's got, that is a Dr. Seuss entry turning point right there with the pink dot, with king timing, with our, that was a red dot a moment ago, plus the big divergence. So the play is right here, right? 10 ticks. Let's see.
NASDAQ on the way. $50. Dow Jones on the 2s. Order filled. Target filled.
Oof.
Order filled.
Oof.
$50. NASDAQ target filled.
Oof. 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 Okay, I would go back and rewind and make myself play that again. I think he he went short when it started pushing green stuff. I mean, if they crack, maybe. But yeah, again, too much hesitation, too much thinking. React. Okay, you got to play right there. Boom, 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 go. Okay, waiting until you're into green. Sometimes that can pop back up, so very careful pushing in on something like that. But
order filled.
I mean, he made it.
NASDAQ target filled.
But now you're talking about what looks like almost, yeah, you got a headshot inside of a shark back here, so it could be pushing straight back up and out. But that's okay. Let this push it up and look for another replay because, man, you got big time frame here telling you you might have a divergence play, which this time frame is going to give you, you know, that space that you need for 15, 20 ticks. So it's freed you up for a play, but you got to play it like it's a video game. You know, try to get in there quick. Boom, right there. There's the red. Oh, did he close? Oh, okay. He quit after that play there. All right, I got you. So that was his 5 trades. Oh, that was his bonus trade number 6. All right, so he's keeping track of his trades there. That's smart. Okay, it's cool. But, you know, great plays setting up right here. Let's see how that would go. Red dot, boom, short right there, okay? Why? You got your pink back behind you. You got your divergence play on the high time frames. You're right in large and king timing right here for that zone. You know, good spot there for what could be a free 10 ticks. And this could be one of those that really just kind of starts to rocket out as well. So as it starts to curve over like that. That's cool. But hey, let's take a peek, see how we did. I still think, in all of that trouble, I want to remind everybody, okay? You do not have to be perfect to be... You said profitable. Give yourself a pat on the back. Yeah, 4 confluences plus on that. But remember, you do not have to be perfect to be profitable. 86% profitable profit factor, 5.56. So even with all of that critique and even all of the little extras and things he could have done to be better, still walking away with $832. That's amazing. Profit factor 5.56. 86% profitable. Excellent work. Of course, doesn't show commissions here on Market Replay. You can set the commission template for this. Another little tip right there. If you guys want to set your commission template for Market Replay, you can have that so you can simulate what it would be like, what your costs would be for your commissions. I do encourage people to go ahead and do that. Put in your commissions template. We've got a video on that if you guys want to go check that one out. Excellent work there, sir. He's got a cool little outro. We got to let that go. What's he got here? Discord and link, algoboxpro.com. I love it. Looking good. Very fancy, very fancy. I like it. Getting smoked. Digital smoke. Very nice, very nice. All right, thanks Neodrox for sharing that with us. Okay, so that one ran a little bit longer. I didn't realize that was how long that video was, and or my lengthy long-windedness. So I'm going to wrap it up with questions. Let's pop through the questions real quick here, and then we'll wrap it up here for tonight. I'll do his second one tomorrow, so come back tomorrow on Tuesday. We'll do session 2 and see what we've got for that one. I think this one was, that was a 17-minute one. This is about 21. So we'll be 100% dedicated tomorrow to looking through this one. Plus, I've got a couple of small training items that I want to show you guys. Some tips and tricks videos coming out tomorrow on the new YouTube channel. Make sure you are subscribed to the AlgoBox channel. In fact, do me a favor real quick, pause everything. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, go ahead and smash it. We got about 50 plus people here hanging out here with us tonight. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me here this evening with the crew. Let's go into some of the Ask Vinny questions section over here. And yeah, I'm going to replay that one again. A lot of valuable stuff you can learn from that. I think a lot of things that he was doing, a lot of people can benefit from that, because I know he's not the only one who does a lot of those little small things. And doing the small things well is what turns into big things later. So always keep that in mind. Doing the small things well it really does make the difference, right? We'll go live in the next hour. Okay, would be possible to go over the keys to look for the 940 to 950 reversal. Needs to be a consistent trading opportunity. Yeah, so I have a whole video around that. 940 to 950. I would encourage it like this tonight. Go watch the 940 to 950 reversal videos talking about that type of stuff. Gets tight, nice little 10-minute window there of time and opportunity. The advantages of the 940 to 950 is that you got the market open right there at 930. You kind of get to see some of the wash there for the first 5 minutes. You wait for the next 5 minutes. Again, there is a play there between 935 and 940 that you can play if you're going to play it in there. But oftentimes what you will see is whatever that first initial move is gets a bit faded. And with that fade, oftentimes you can get that push. Now, what does that resolve from? What days does this play well on? Don't forget a couple of the keys on the 940 to 950 is going to be particularly on those days that you can, if you want a, I won't say guaranteed, but if you're trying to look for the, what's the catalyst and what days would that occur? On the first of the month, and we'll talk about why here in a second. Oops. I can out of my zoom and go yellow here. So first of the month, kind of first to the third, I would say. And 15th. I'll just put to the 18th-ish, because again, closer to the 15th is the best. But what's going on right here? There's a lot of people getting paid, particularly around the first. This one's even more powerful, the first to the third, versus this one, because some people only get paid on, once a month. But most people are bi-monthly, right? And every 2 weeks type of scenarios, but you can almost guarantee you get a bunch of money movement from the 1st to 15th. What does that mean? This is because this goes into 401k. There's the 401k catalyst. They must go into positions at the open. They cannot wait for technicals things. You cannot wait for anything like that. So what oftentimes can be is as that push of volume comes in, then all of the intraday and the prospective traders are going to start to come in and take advantage of that 401k push. So if it's up to the up direction, oftentimes it gets quick faded there between 940 and 950 around the first, first to the third. And then, of course, also 15th and 18th, kind of same thing. Yeah, paychecks, like it's required. 401ks, they have got to, the money has to be distributed, and then it's got to be applied to the markets. It can't just sit around, just sitting in it, right? This is forced capital that comes in on those days, and it gets distributed. Now, that can happen every single day. Also, orders that come in overnight from people who, call up, got the broker, be like, hey, I want to order a bunch of Amazon, tomorrow at the open. Okay, cool, got it. We'll put in all those orders. All those orders that are coming in at the end of the day got to and overnight will have to be filled. A lot of things around earnings report, earnings season. A lot of people being like, I want to buy it after earnings, right? Okay, so after the earnings play at 4:30 the night before, then the following day you get a bunch push in on some of those big names. Even particularly tonight, there was I forget who it was. There was a big earnings report tonight, either Amazon, Google, Facebook, one of those big guys did tonight. So I didn't actually look after hours to see what that was. I was eating with the family, whatnot, but that can cause extra volatility coming in tomorrow morning. So 940, 950, watch tomorrow morning, particularly after this video on Tuesday. And we're also kind of at the beginning of the month, and we had that holiday, so things got pushed back a little bit here. It's only the 6th, tomorrow will be the 7th. So look for a little continuation move, 940, 950 reversal might come into play tomorrow. The way to play it, again, same old stuff. We're not really changing anything about what we do. It's just looking for the time of opportunity. Time of opportunity right here. Wait for what we just talked to tonight. Wait for the hot zone. Wait for the large king timing. Wait for that turning point. Look for one of those alpha omega crosses, deltas, or divergences, and just take the normal reversal play off of that. But the play that happens between here, 940, 950, oftentimes can give you that kind of free bag of that 10, 15, 20, 25 plus ticks. And some of our members make the majority of their money between that little 10-minute window right there and then add to it through the rest of that play through the 10:10 location for the first session of the day. Nice set of plays there, going from 9:49.50 to 10:10, and you're talking about a half hour's worth of work right there, and coming away with some pretty big payoffs from that little fade and then into the 10:10 where we sit on hands right here. Sometimes you come in back after the 10:30, and push maybe your final bonus trade scenario, wait for that stalk, that last trade, smash it, put it away for that session, and then go on about your business, do other things, and then come back for the afternoon session there around the 9:49.50. Okay, any other questions around that 9:49.50? Let us know. We'll come back and talk about that. Link will be shared to the session start. Yes. Vinny, I saw something about doing something live tonight. Yes, we do now. Somebody asked, Emini, would you please tell me which of the PC requirements to run AlgoBox without any problem? So PC requirements, again, more is more here. Okay, it depends on how far you want to go. Again, I say more is more. Get the fastest computer you can afford. This is your business in a box. If you want to look at the PC, real easy one to do, type !computer. I walk you through literally I just got on my telephone, on my mobile, went to the website Computer Upgrade King. The Continuum case is my favorite. I'll walk all the way through that. You can order the same PC there, nice build PC there for relatively inexpensive, and get a nice quality 10900K F. There are 2 series open after that already into the 12 series as of right now. This date, again, technology changes all the time. So if you're watching this video at a later time, you need to take that into account. But watch how I do a build out of that computer 2 generations back. Of what we're currently building right here, and I think the whole build was about $1,600, and for a beastie computer. So that would be answering that for that. Watch that hardware series here, because it does matter for how your desk and your keyboard, mouse, and that kind of setup is there. Because again, we're approaching the markets like a video game. You need to be able to be quick, being able to react quickly. Having a clear desk space is important, and we talked through all that in that video there. Taking one additional Discord sub threads, page index. Got them all set up already. Signed up for gold last night. Got get connected. Okay, cool. Welcome to the crew. Somebody asked about contract rollover. Yes, we do have contract rollover coming up. Let me look at the dates on that. If you guys haven't gotten your Condo Day calendar, I do recommend you get one of these. The Condo Day calendars is a 2022. Seeing stuff in advance where everything is already kind of printed out for you. Neat, right? You didn't have to write all that stuff in, already there for you, so you can just reference it. I think that's a time saver, game changer. But contract roller is coming up. How we approach it, go watch this video right there. Super handy for that. How's the confirmation email? Take a while. Went Gold Plus and Robot. Okay, so this is probably a good one to talk about. So Gold Plus full auto stuff is basically going away for the new website. Not even advertising, not even going to be giving away any of the full auto stuff. We have so much technical support around having to get people set up, and it doesn't matter how many videos I put out around things. People kind of refuse to look at them, watch them, and then they ultimately ends up 500 questions later. It's become not even worth our time to continue to go with this. If you guys have been with us for forever, you guys got the 3 robots that came with the system if you bought before June the 1st. We are extending that through the end of the week. So if you are going to get in right now, this is like right now, today is 6/6/2022. If you are getting in this week before Friday, I'm still going to give those to you. But then when we cut off the old website, it's gone. We're not going to support that stuff anymore. So those questions can kind of go away. And we will only be grandfathering, dealing with anybody who's been here for a long time. Again, you really should learn how to do things manually first before you automate, but everybody does the other way. They're just like, oh, let me just automate first and then I'll come back and learn it. No, it's not how things work. You shouldn't do that. And I can't drill that through anymore, and I can't keep arguing with people. It just drives me bat. So we're just going to quit supporting it. All right, I have any feeling out form for mentorship, but the terms of reach myself access denied. Okay, there. Make sure you're getting it from the new website. For any of the terms and conditions stuff, that if you got an old link from the old website, go to the new website, algoboxpro.com/TOS, T-O-S, terms of service, and algoboxpro.com/TOS. If you need to go through the terms of service, if you've got an old link there. Thanks, Claire. There's an option, June the 1st, old website before June 1st. Yes, so today is the 6th. The old website as of right now is still up, but it is coming down any moment now. This weekend is, I couldn't get to it this last weekend, stuff going on. I forgot about Memorial Day weekend in there and dealing with stuff with the family and stuff like that. So, hey, bad news for me, good news for you guys. So we're extending that. You guys can get the 3 fully automated robots, headshot, 2-finger salute, and lunchbot all included, as long as you are getting in before this Friday. So go check that out on the website. To answer the question about the full auto stuff, again, in the future, we won't even have questions about the full auto because we're not going to support it anymore. People already have it. We'll support you guys, but we're not adding any more people to full auto. Just curious, why would it be a problem? Too many people running away with the bags of money. Is he talking about why we're closing it down? Well, it's twofold. Yeah, we have a bunch of people executing on it, and it's pinpoint entry locations. So yes, you've got more people. You can't have more than 500 people executing in a single location for the majority of the instruments that we are trading on low volatile or low volume instruments such as NASDAQ, Dow, Russell. Even though there's misinformation printed out there all the time that says that they are high volume, they are not. When you can see on the other side of the bid and ask, and you can, count the numbers of contracts available, on 2 hands, oftentimes on NASDAQ, Dow, and Russell, no, there's not a lot of volume there. The only one that they say that about that they're accurate on is possibly the ES, where there are hundreds of contracts on the bid and ask. But a lot of times people think that those are thick markets. They're not. NASDAQ, Dow, and Russell, those are, some of our 3 bread and butters, and they are, thin compared to the numbers of contracts. And if you're buying stocks and such on, non-futures exchanges, trading any other instruments, they're not like that. So there is a limit to how many. So the answer to that, Darty, is that yes, there is a limit to how many people you want to enter in at a particular pinpoint entry location. And if you have a full auto, everybody's is going to instantaneously be in at that same location, which yes, is exactly why we have a limit. In platinum members, it's 15 people per year. On gold plus, there are 3 different sets of those instruments, and as soon as we hit 500, we cap it. So yes, those are legit things that we talk about. Now again, we are going to be releasing the crypto version that's just crypto. We've got one that's going to be just FX, and we've got one that's just stocks. And there might be some combinations of those, but those will be sold separately. Those of you guys who are in here with our system now, you can trade anything. But if you are people that are just stocks or just Forex or just crypto, those versions will come out at the end of the summer. You are interested in any of that. So, but you will not be able to trade futures with that. OBS divergence triangle is changing when we move the charts vertical horizontal. Is there any solutions? I don't know why he said this. I looked at this and I was like, he even showed it in his video. They didn't change. So I don't know what he was talking about with that. Don't see it changing at all on your videos. Yeah, I think Cad kind of pointed out, like, Julius, I don't think anybody knows what you're saying, bro. Maybe you said something that you didn't mean, but I don't know. Can't help you on that one. The triangles don't change size. But look, they're not changing size. They are perfectly set in the same way that they were. So yeah, can't argue with a false fact, unfortunately. When I try to do market replay and set it to a specific time, NinjaTrader does not apply the time that I inputted. Instead, it always resets to 11 p.m. I don't know why. I can move the slider, but it takes NinjaTrader a while to load it. Very precise. The question is how to actually set the time inputted. Okay. Sounds like you need to watch my market replay video, Zachary. Yeah, just go check out the market replay video on that, and it should pretty much help you out there. Just check that out and go to town on it. Show a screenshot of what you're having an issue with, but yeah, that's all walked through in the market replay video. Just there's probably something you're just not doing. Go back and watch it. There is like a secondary click after you put in the time, then you need to like click to make it work, but that's in the video there. If you want to go to a new website, try to download a new version, makes me fill out a form. I believe near identical to the form on the new. Yeah, they're the same. I'm supposed to fill out the form again for the new site. No, if you've already bought, you can just go straight to the download. That's in the premium member section. There were a lot of performance fixes. If you guys have not gotten the latest version, now there is a little bit of confusion. Let's hopefully this will help somebody. Okay, 8.5.3.2 is the latest version. But there was another one. I didn't increment the version. I probably should. I was like, I did it late on a Friday night. I'm like, oh, we just need to push it out. I needed to get the new workspace out there to fix some of the performance issues and crashing that some people were having. So I quickly pushed out another version. It is still the same. You need to make sure you go, and if you think that, well, I've already got .2 and it didn't change, you're right. I didn't increment the version, but you need to go get the latest one with the latest workspace. The only thing I changed in it was the big workspace and the templates in that. So I didn't increment the version. I didn't go back and recreate in a full installer and all that kind of whatnot. I just pushed it out pretty quick on a late Friday night. Make sure if you're having any performance issues, go and download the latest one, install it, and you can just open up the workspace. In the past, we have not included a 4K workspace, but now we have a full 4K workspace there for you as well. And I do recommend that you build off of that one because that's got all of that cool stuff in it. So 4K plus one. You got the 1080p screen off on the left as well to fill in all of those, all available there on the latest one. So make sure you go and get that one, would be my recommendation. Again, I know we had a lot of questions to catch up on because we missed last week, so bear with me. Let's get through all the questions. And some of the videos, Vinny seems to indicate that he would be problematic if too many people use AlgoBox. Is that so? Okay, so we talked about that already. It's not necessarily AlgoBox, it's that everybody trading the same instrument sets, particularly on thin markets. Okay. Purchase gold lease, planned on. I've watched about 20 of the videos in live training. It seems like I don't have a license to Flowmaster. You do have license Flowmaster. Remember, Flowmaster audio box is on the left-hand room over here in the Emini trade floor. You want to listen into the audio box section. That is on the left. I also mentioned in one of the videos that AlgoBox won't automatically draw the SMOK lines. Can I purchase features? Oh, that is an old video. Those are now included. So I think you already figured that out by now, but SMOK lines are included in all gold editions as of this date. Gold and premium member. Gold is premium. Premium simply just means you paid. Gold is what level that you bought. On that, basically, I've seen enough in the tool and maximize results and process. Great stuff. And yes, as far as setting up your workspace, it will shortcut that if you just do the latest one, and you'll have the 4K workspace to open up and just launch out on your charts and have all of them there for you. And even if it's not your arrangement the way that you want it, you can still rearrange them, but not having to recreate the charts. It'll save you a lot of time. Sensei, I have a good question, sir. I hope you can cover the future episode. My question is why having a risk to reward mentality for approach trading is just a bogus idea, and how our AlgoBox set targets are different. Mentality sadly are adopted by so many ICT traders. See them failing, especially Mikey. Keep throwing the R and R around as though he knows the direction, giving false hopes to traders, which makes them fail. Thank you, sir. Okay, so his question here is on risk to reward, and I talked to him about this briefly. So a lot of people put a lot of weight on RR on every play, on every trade. And they typically are looking for, they take a pivot and they are like, okay, so there's a pivot right here. And if I want to take a long, I'm going to put my stop underneath the pivot here. And my risk to reward needs to be, 2 to 1, 3 to 1, whatever. So they're like, okay, I got a target out here. And so from here to here, this distance has to be, 2 or 3 times the amount of distance from my stop down here. So they're all focused hardcore on this. He said it was bogus. I think he got that from some other folks. I don't know that I would necessarily say that it's necessarily bogus, but the way that we approach it is definitely different. Ours is adaptable depending on which strategy that we're entering in. We do not just have a hard set R. Like, well, I'm not taking that trade unless there's a 5R trade. Well, we don't do any of that. In fact, we showed here tonight on some of the live stuff is that we don't mind taking a scalp. We can take a quick one against certain setups. We can, our R is what I call evolving R. So here's the new concept around this. Even Tom Dante kind of talks about the evolving R. Okay, so if your risk reward initially was, you think it was a, I don't know, like something for ours, our average is about 2.7 for the majority of all of ours. I know I put 1.7 here, but even on the low side, 1.7 is pretty darn good. But evolving R is where it may start out low, but as it progresses, it can either get higher or lower depending on how things start to open up, right? And with our scenarios, like what are some big ones? So I'll give an example. Just in general, if you are generalizing, DCDM is going to be a very large R to R in general. The plan is huge R to R. However, the evolving R over that, while the first DCDM might be a 10 to 1, oops, Okay, you might have a 10-to-1 on a DCDM play. As it evolves and starts to maybe come back in reverse and whatnot, and like looking for a 2, having a 2-try rule, this may reduce over time to be a 5-to-1, for instance. So being able to be flexible with that versus a hard set, I would say that the way we approach it is an evolving R type of scenario. Same thing with whether it's a headshot. A headshot is not a specific set of R. It depends on where it's landing, whether it's on large or king timing, and if it's got other pieces of confluence with it, then our estimate, an estimated R, is higher or lower depending on where it landed. And for us, we are putting a lot of weight on if it lands on these 2 sections over here, large and king, and if it's got the other additional confluences, whether it's inside of a PRZ or we've got our MACV, and huge one, MVU particularly, the ultimate. If the ultimate is with us as well, well then this is now the same risk, R, R1, but the evolving R risk-reward ratio is increased because we've got, wow, we've got everything potentially with us. We've got a runner opportunity on this trade, whereas another one we might not. So our concept of it is we do not have a hard set R, whereas other platforms and these guys that, you know, are diehards of, they pick their R and they you know, just claim, again, usually it's just claims that they are, oh, I'm not taking a trade unless it's at least 4R. Okay. You see how that works out for them. So I would say hopefully that kind of answers that one. Tougher, bigger picture question there, but hopefully that's helpful. If any, new here, so sorry, it's a dumb question. Watching the risk management training video, why we have a mental stop that we execute manually. Question 1. Would it be possible to get NinjaTrader to have something like an order that your computer puts in once the price is touched? If the location of the mental stop is not in the books. One guy in the main chat said a market if touched order does this. Would this be beneficial even if it could be done? Oh, absolutely can be done. So here's the risks to this. People have asked to do this before. So let's understand some things. Some people don't know some things about how orders are placed. These are, with our system, it just seems kind of rudimentary because you don't have to think about it most of the time. But when you are normally getting into the market, okay, so you got an entry, you've got a stop, and you have a target, and these are 3 orders. This is an order, this is an order, this is an order. These 2 are limit orders, so these are things that people don't know sometimes to get out. And what he said was market if touched. So he's asking about market if touched. What does that mean? So if a price is touched, meaning yes, we hit a bidder and ask into a price point, then we market order, meaning I fill that order no matter what, slippage or otherwise, just fill my order, period. I don't care how I get filled, what I get filled. A limit order is going to be I'm entering in at that specific price, although our targets are not usually just limit. They are set, they are live orders, and they will close you out. They are a market if touched, but they are also a limit order but they are not a hard limit, meaning if that gets hit, I am going to fill the order. But the orders are actually sitting in the market. Now, what does that mean? This means we are talking about the disconnect between your computer and the exchange, which is very important, in my opinion, to longevity of a business. Okay, here's you over here, maybe on your, hopefully not a laptop, but I'm just gonna use a laptop because it's easier to draw. Okay, so here's you clacking away at your keyboard over here. Okay, got your cool little B300S mouse over here, and your connection to the internet through the clouds of space, the space-time continuum, and you're making connections back and forth here to the exchange. If you are doing market order if touched, then all of the orders, where are your orders sitting? This is the dangerous and important part to understand. Where are your orders? Are your orders here, or do you want them here? Okay, well, the idea is that, oh, well, you know, if my order is not here on the exchange where, you know, everybody can see it, okay, well, then I've got the advantage of, hey, you know, nobody's, the big bad market maker guy can't see my orders. Haha, because I'm so smart, because I've got them on my computer. Yeah, sounds smart until you get a volatility spike, until the market does something unplanned by you, and then you're stupid. okay? Because you weren't smart enough to know that that could happen, and your market order, if touched, all of a sudden your computer freezes up, lose connection, whatever. Do you understand? Like, that could cost you so much money on a single trade, that all of the, you know, little bit that you make by not having your orders on the exchange. I personally think that this is a bad idea to have your orders only on your PC. That is my take on it. I do not do this for my traders by default. I would not put this in because I don't know. I'm not saying I would be responsible for what you do. Okay, there are vendors out there that will sell you the software that will do that. I do not think that it is wise. It will cost you more in the long run, because if you're playing every single day, it's like this: the more that you are playing on anything, the more risk that you have inherently. Understand that? The same principle of why I limit you guys to 60 to 90 minutes exposure to the markets. The longer that you are in play fighting with the bull, the more opportunity that that bull is going to wreck you at some point. Okay, so you want to be in and out, carefully, cautiously approaching the markets with your risk pre-calculated. So trying to get tricky, what you were trying to do when you were trying to do stuff like that. Okay, the question is does tricky win money? On occasion, okay, but is tricky going to get you rich? Probably not. Okay, you might make a few cents, but it will cost you dollars. Think about what I just said. If it makes sense, oftentimes it will cause you to lose dollars, and that does make sense. To, hey, why don't I just program it to where all my orders are still sitting here, and I don't execute a market order until boom, surprise, oh, it's at this level, and then you think that you're going to execute perfectly at that level. Yeah, until the market goes. And then by the time your computer fires its order off, it's so far off, and you're like, why did I just lose $10,000? You'd be like, well, Vinny, I had you do that one thing. I'm like, yeah, you told me you wanted to do that. You sure you wanted to do that? Oh, well, I didn't know. I didn't want it to do that. Of course not. So hopefully that answers your question as to why I would not do that, why I don't recommend you to do that. Yeah, never be clever. Never be clever. Yeah. I mean, here's okay. Too clever. Oh, I like that. Vincenzo said, never be too clever is my motto. Yeah, too clever. Clever is good, but sometimes you're too clever, and yeah, you're putting the risk on the table, right? You don't want to do that, in my opinion. So that hopefully answers that. Wondering, I know, did you require level 2? No, our stuff does not require level 2 data. If you are getting data, it has 2 names. You can do, it's called level 1 or top of book. Some places call it top of book. Yeah, you asked about top of book. Same term. Anytime they ask you if you need level 2, the answer is no. You do not need market. There's another word for that. Do you need market depth data? No, you don't. You do not load level 2 or level depth with our system. We build that internally for you, so no need. You can basically buy the cheap top of book data that's, you know, costs you as much as a coffee each month for your data feed. Next one. Do that. Watch it. Literally another thing. No offense to the guy. Oh yeah, somebody did how to speed up Ninja Trader 8. This is a really bad video. I mean, again, sometimes you got to be careful of stuff. Just because they put it out there on the internet doesn't mean it's true. A lot of bad info in that video, and stuff is just wasting your time and efforts on. And some was just like outright wrong information. So be careful. Listen to everybody else. Just sign up for the trial. A few quick questions. Number 1, is machine ID unique to a user's account? Not to the unique user's account specifically, but unique to your computer. Yes. To the device installed. Oh yes, this is what to the device it's installed in. That is what it is. Yes. Trade primarily on 2 different computers, 2 different locations. I would like to have AlgoBox access on both. Okay. There is an additional cost for a secondary computer. However, a lot of people mitigate this by using, you know, remote software like Google Remote, TeamViewer. There's lots of apps out there for it. People have asked about, well, what about the latency and delay? These have gotten so good these days. Like, they're only sending the pixels that have changed, and with people's internet connections today, it tends to mitigate all of those. We've got lots of people who remote in, so they'll have like a home workstation and they're at their work or job and are thinking they'll put it on the laptop. Well, you can remote in from your laptop to your home PC, pressing the buttons remotely at your machine if you want to save some money. But yes, if you did purchase gold and you've already owned it, then gold owners, not if you're still leasing, you'll have to lease a second computer, but if you are already an owner, we can get you in ownership of a second one for very inexpensive. You can hit me up and direct message on that, and I'll send you a link. If you would like to actually still go ahead and purchase a second one instead of doing a remote option, you just really have your reasons for it. Yes, we do have people who still do have the reason they want to have it separate. Some people are like, I want to do it while I'm flying in my plane. That's fine. You know, no internet connection to whatever. You want to practice, download some market replay. You want to practice, you know, while you're flying on a plane and impress your buddies flying in your private jet, totally cool. you can I'm sure you can afford to buy a second one for super cheap. Question he did ask, could you confirm lease to own means you obligated to continue to pay the monthly charge for 18 months? No, not true. You can cancel at any time. It's a good question. The lease to own option is just for you to know that if you do pay out over the entire time, you can own it at the end rather than continuously paying for forever. I don't know if you're like me, like I just want to own it, right? I don't want to know that I've got to always be dependent on this and constantly paying when I could have, end of the rainbow at the end of 18 months, you own it. If you basically, could do that. Or if you just pay off the whole thing, you could do that as well. That's the lease to own option, but you can quit anytime. You're not obligated. You can quit anytime. Absolutely. My second day trading with AlgoBox, I already wanted all 6 lessons library. I wanted to ask if you try the audio box while on the trial. Yes, 100%. Anybody asking about that? Yeah, you can definitely try the audio box room right over here on the left. While you're doing your trial, 100%, you can absolutely do that. Any quick question on PRZ cross? I should only consider looking for a reversal if the PRZ comes first, followed by the cross. No, not true. Or does it matter? Nope, doesn't matter. Just it's the combo. Combo kill. Does not matter which one comes first, chicken or the egg, as long as there's a chicken and bingo. Unfortunately, today's market. Still stand. Really old post, but just thought I'd ask. Some discount for military and students if this applies to you. So yes, we do still have military and student discounts. If you guys are interested in that, hit me up. Some of them are already rolled into like some of our like Black Friday special type of stuff. There's like that's already like super discounted, whatnot like that. But we also do have Helping Hands program for those who, particularly if like they're having a hardship or whatever. There are other opportunities to help folks out, in interim and allow the system to pay for itself later. Lots of options there for folks. If you want our system and you really want it, we can help you to get that in your hands. Hey sir, is this still stand? Okay. 1, I'm approximately 2 weeks of finishing my last 4 days, although I trade my sim account exactly as if it was my real account. I'm not planning in real trading real account until I have some consistency on live sim. Do you think this is wrong? No. I do think that you should definitely do some live sim. You're asking, is it different from market replay? I think it's helpful to have the thing that you don't have in market replay is audio box. So feeling how audio box either, how does that it should be enhancing your play. I mean, I think it can only be better, but yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Again, whatever, you should never go live if you don't feel comfortable. I can never tell you when you feel comfortable. I've never told anybody, oh, you must go live at this point. If people ask me how soon and how quickly would I recommend them to go, I'm like, well, the earliest would be 120 days. I think that you going through our entire program, practicing it, executing on it, doing it enough times, you've got all the mechanics, everything about starting up your system, learning your system, executing on your system, all of that. I think that a minimum of 120 days is best before anybody goes it. But it could be, everybody's different. So that's up to you. So do I think it's wrong? Absolutely not. Or go to town whenever you're comfortable. Also, as I don't have enough money to start a 10K account, I don't like the idea of prop firms. It would be the ideal for micros. Would it be 1,600? So you're basically doing a 1/10 of 8K. So the ideal is, if the ideal is 8K with an absolute minimum of 2,500, because I don't want people to get confused with this. For some reason, this always gets confusing for people. My recommended is $8,000 so that you can trade a full stack size so that you can have small, medium, large, king size opportunities, in my opinion. So this is for minis. So translating this to micros, would be $800, right? Because it's a 1/10. So 800 there. But if you want to round that up to $1,000 for micros, then that would be my answer. You said 1,600 for 60. Oh, yes. If you wanted to do so NASDAQ 16 contracts, then yes. Answer would be 2 of my last 40 days as is intended. I am doing my sessions of 5 trades in 1 hour, mainly market replay. I noticed that sometimes I'm doing very well in the initial trades. My last second and third trades. But in my fourth or fifth, I end up giving a lot back due to the sizing that I placed in the last trades. Okay, this is a little bit of a misnomer for folks. If you are a person who believes that as you are going through trades 1 through 5, dividing this up, there you go. All right, there's 5 here. They're not even, but you get my point, okay? Got your 5 trades, and he's saying, I'm doing really well in my first sets of trades here, but then when I get to trades 4 and 5, he says, because of the sizing, this is a wrong mental mindset. He's implying that 4 and 5, that you must get big in size. Is that true? No, that is called a false fact. Now, my idea, I've told you before, like I'm wanting to increase my trade size from trades 1 through 5 because I can maximize and get big. But once I've put away money up here, I can lock it in. And I mean, remember, each play is a small or a large. Remember, at its basic core, a trade is either small or I should say big here. Sorry, small or big, because this is our ATMs. This is the ATM mindset. Is it small? Is it big? Now, of course, we have some others. We have tiny, we have bigger. But in general, I've only got 2. So am I going to force a big play just because it's trade 4? No. See, my false part of that is no. And if this is your mindset on it, let's change it. Understand that, do I want to try to get big? Yes. So if it's a small play, do I want to maybe skip on that for 4 or wait for a bigger play? Yes, right? I'm just wanting to really push the envelope in my final sets of trades there. And remember, I actually usually say trades 3, 4, 5. This is where I really want to make the majority of my money, that the first 2 are me. I'm kind of like feeling out the market. But if you had such great plays right off on the first 2, you do not have to be forced to trade 5 trades. Remember, always remember that too. It is 5 trades, right? Or 60 to 90 minutes, whichever comes first. Yeah, maximizing the house money. Millionaire just nailed it right there. Let's say that again, what Millionaire just posted. Maximize the house money. That means, since I have already put away green here in these trades, right? Well, like let's say that I'm up 1K. Well, I feel like I've got 1K to play with, right? Can I maximize that? Yes. Now, could I also give it back? Yes. It sounds like, let's figure out though why you're giving it back. Let's go and analyze some of your actual trades and let's see why you're really losing on those, because it's not, I don't think it's because of the size, okay? But even if, like, let's say you did size up, you're like, oh man, I got and had a bigger loser on trade 4, okay? And then you were like, I don't know, you lost something big. You lost 700, 800. Let's just go all the way to 800. You had a minus 800 there and you're down to only 200 now, okay? Well, on your next one, unless you're saying that every time for some reason, is it psychological with you that you're going big and then you're blowing it, or like we would need to see it? So the answer is way more subjective than what you're saying. You are saying that it's because of the size. False. Okay, false. Like it's not different because you got sized. Okay. If you're saying that you do better on first trades, I mean, again, there's a lot of things going into account here. What time of day? What trades are you taking? Where are you trading? Afternoon, morning session, 940 to 950, close to 1010. There's 100 factors, not 100. I don't want to exaggerate. There are a lot of factors that could play into what that might be. You tell me, what are they? You didn't tell me enough about the rest of the information. What trades? What kind of trades? DCDMs, double cross double moves, headshots, large king timings. Are you trading against MACV? Are you going small? Are you going tiny? Are you trading ES? Are you not trading? There's a lot. Just apply the rules. All I can say is that if you apply the rules, right, the results follow. Thanks, Millionaire. Appreciate that, sir. So due to the sizing that I play in the last trade. Okay. But what happens when it does? I mean, there's going to be days, unless you're saying that you're always losing on those. Well, that would suck. But let's say that, like, when those days pay off, those are what you're trying to do is you're trying to get those big payoff days. Like here's your P&L. Okay? In general, here's what we are targeting our P&L to look like. And if you guys are not looking at your reports, I know I don't see a lot of you guys doing this, but you really should look at your P&L graphs. Okay. You want to see these spikes. Some people oftentimes, like they want to see this P&L curve. It looks like this. They just want a straight, super flat. What tends to happen here is you're giving up a lot of opportunities, and a lot of times you're adding a lot of risk. What I see a lot, like if you were to graph it out, you'll see like the drawdown scenarios underneath that are hidden with your max adverse excursions, MAE. See? To maintain that perfection looking, whatever. This is ICT. This is classic ICT. I've shown you guys his actual plottings from the past because he'd be like, oh, look at me. I got my little $100. Got my little 100. Look at me, guys. Just got to get your 100. Got to get your 100. Got to get your 100. And all these drawdowns are like 500, 10,000, like a 5,000, 10,000. He's like, oh, nope, but I pop back up. I got my 100. I've got my 100. I'm 100 until the day that it goes, you know, and it just farts out. That's what he always does. He blows out 90 days or less. If he actually traded 90 days, tends to be this day comes and he's wrecked. You don't want that. What we want is the little small losers. Okay. Then the big win days, right, are coming. This is our method. Okay. But to be able to get these big win days, you've got to adjust your size. And this is because you are sizing, not because, you know, necessarily different trading or whatever, but yeah, some of them are. You're also catching the big one. Like this is what you want to do. Your P&L curve should be curvy, not a straight line. It was funny, like people were talking about your equity curve. There should be curves, right? Some people's that are like flat, it's like that's a equity line, right? And that line is probably writhing with dangerous zones underneath that you don't see because they're not showing the full picture. So this first thing. Setups during the entire session. Multiple confluences, example, power dots on 5s, plus dot on MACV, plus HMD on 2s also. But I try to follow the cadence system and toe in the water. Okay, so look, if that, there's usually only one of those in a session that's that perfect. Okay, yeah, sure, you go big on that one. Now you're saying that they always come at the beginning? Come on, bro. You just think that they just magically show up on your trade 1 and 2 because it's the 1 and 2 trade? No, bro. Come on now. Now they could. Here's how they could. If you are doing like what I say about only coming to your desk using the audio box queue. Okay. So if audio box is your queue to come to the desk, okay, you're basically holding out. I'm away from my desk. Away. Then audio box is clicking. Then I'm like, boom, come to my desk. Okay, I'm ready to go. Sit at my desk, ready to go. Let's go. Well, then sure, because audio box just kicked off. But if you start to think like trades 1 through 3 already went by for a lot of other people, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, you're coming in, audio box is clacking, and you're coming in trades. Basically, this is your 1 and 2, right? But for everybody else, it might be 4 and 5. You're coming in at this opportunity. Then yeah, you may absolutely master blast the first set of trades. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with walking away at that point. Now, I hesitate to say that right now because what I tend to see in traders is when they do this and they walk away, they leave so much on the table. And their P&L curves, you know, they look pretty flat. But they're missing out on those big opportunities to get bonus, right? Like if you, difference between the guys, you know, living on 2 guys living on the same street, 1 guy living in the middle street, 1 guy living at the house in the corner, you know, with the big lot and all the fun stuff, right? So I don't recommend just walking away at that. But if you are crushing it, and that's first true, then you want to be cautious on your trade 3, 4, 5. Dude, I got no problem with that, right? At the end of the day, I'm teaching you how I do it my way. I do not do it this way, but if I'm doing it like this, I'm taking into account the trades. I'm not going to just get big for getting big. I want to make sure that's importantly obvious, that I don't just get big to get big. I'm thinking big. Look at this. Thinking big does not mean that you have to execute big. Make sense? I'm thinking if I get the opportunity, I want to push it because I've got the money in the bank. But if it doesn't show up, I'm not risking it just to risk. Hopefully that's helpful. This comes with experience. I would say this is experience and practice around that. And it's good that you're noting this, okay? Because now you can mitigate it. I think the worst parts are when people can't recognize what's happening. You're recognizing it. And you know why you're able to recognize it? Because you are doing enough market replay. So I applaud you, first of all, that you have done enough market replay to find that set of cadence that occurs like that, right? And you want to get that hot streak. The idea is to catch the hot streak and mitigate the set of short losers as much as possible, and then get back to boom, boom, big set of trades again. So yeah, 100%. I try setup happen not, but I try to follow the cadence, and I go toe in the water, quarter position, then I probably should have entered with a bigger size, and by the 4th or 5th trade, setup happen not to be as good as the first setups, and I end up losing the trade and giving a lot back due to sizing a bit bigger. Okay, and that can definitely happen. Should I always have in mind that kind of setup and confluences I'm entering into sizing accordingly, right, even if it's my very first? Yeah, again, it's hard to answer that. I have to lay out, remember that when we're drawing out the 5 trades, this is standard operating procedure. When I walk in, I know exactly what my day is going to be laid out with. I want these 5 trades, that's my idea. But while that is the ideal, once you have been executing on that, you understand it, you have it well done, you will start to learn on those days when and where those opportunities are going to be less, or when you need to go ahead and go, okay, I've got my 2 big trades, cool, it's got to be absolutely perfect for me to take the rest. I may let time expire, right? Sit there at your desk for 60 to 90 minutes the rest of the time. You do not have to force yourself into those little plays. I think I do see that. In fact, I saw them with a couple other people on their videos that we'll be reviewing this week, where, you know, you'll take every headshot. I don't want to say for some reason because that sounds condescending, but you want to take every headshot, and that's not a good play. You need to make sure that headshot is still like that as an entry if you're already good for setup. If you remember, that is a directional bias play. And if you're going to go against the directional biases, then you need to make sure that you're scalping that, making use of the tiny ATM possibly, or just mitigating, knowing that, well, this is a lower trade opportunity. Be careful, take the trade if it's an entry, but use it in conjunction with other things. You really want to build that confluence, right? And you did say it right here, the confluence, you had more confluence on some than others. That's what you want, okay? Get that confluence and try to turn those into bigger plays with the confluence, maybe on higher time frames where you get not necessarily contract count, right? But you've got those bigger size plays, pushing out 15, 20 plus ticks. And oh man, I know there's so much to put in tonight because we missed last week. There are so many good plays that came in on higher time frames this week, like just so much good stuff. Look at these higher time frames. This is up on the 89. These huge confluences coming in for the turning point on the NASDAQ. We had this one up on the wave. Look at this crazy, awesome headshot scenario on the high time frames. It's 24 range. So this drop down here at 25 each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 24, 200 tick drops off of, you know, single setups. But like if this is setting up on the high time frame, then going into the low time frame, but look at what time this came, right? Could you actually play this? Well, it's at 8:40 a.m. So there are all kinds of plays in that after that time period, but do you need to take exactly just that play? Are you playing that one for the risk? No. You want to see this play off the high time frame and now go to the lower time frames and play this until it's done. High time frame play setups, don't forget to take those into account. Even now on the 89, this one called the bottom right here for the pop up. Very cool stuff. You know, take that high time frame into account if you're struggling on how to filter your trades. Order of operations, find the high time frame that's putting it into play and then execute on it. You had this one, double cross play and the dump. Now that confluence kind of got ate up, but it's right in the middle of the golden rope, so it couldn't be too surprised by that one not, you know, moving upward direction, but literally the turning point pivot on high time frames, you know, keep those into play. But just, you know, good things there on the high time frames, and then play them down on the lower time frames for lower risk, and then follow the direction of the higher time frames is going to be your best plays. And I think that you'll find that consistently. I would like to see some more from you, Pedro, on your recordings. I mean, actual recorded sessions. I don't think I've seen. I know you're working really hard on doing a lot of your stuff. If you want me to help you set up your OBS and get a recording so that I can see what you're doing, because I am kind of curious. I would like to see what's happening to you on those. I mean, are you really going too big? I don't know. I'd have to see it. So best thing I can do to give you truly the best feedback is for me to be able to see what you're doing. So feel free to do a recorded session here and there if you really like me to give you some pinpoint stuff on it, if you are concerned with what you're doing there with those trades. But I know you had a lot here, so I wanted to make sure I thoroughly answered your question there, so hopefully that gets it to you. Always have in mind to kind of set up and sizing correct on the first. And I will also say, there is no real 100% right or wrong answer. You remember that you are coming here asking for my opinion. These are simply my opinions. These are not like hard set in stone items, but my advice to you is from my experience and in the way that I approach things. And yeah, there are times when I totally know exactly what you're saying, but you're gonna get that feeling. You're gonna know. You're like, oh man, I caught the best section of the day. Man, I caught that beautiful J hook off. I just sat down at my desk at 11 o'clock. Audio box was clacking off. I got this one huge J hook. It felt like 2 or 3 trades in it. I mean, you can be one and done. I just don't like to teach it that way. I don't like to tell you that, because then everybody, I can't tell you. I've been in rooms where that's what happens, right? One and done, and everybody's like, okay, I'm done for the day, going to golf. And man, they missed some of the best plays of the day because they just walked off and they didn't even sit at their desk for an hour. So my method of teaching you to sit at your desk for 60 minutes to 60 to 90 minutes, or to take those 5 trades, I still think is the best way to do it. And you're still going to mitigate your risk. You're not going to be risking too much for those 5 trades in general if you are executing well with our system. Don't need OBS, just Windows G key. Is that right? Is that the new record? Windows G? What does Windows G do? Windows G. Doesn't work for me, bud. So that must be something specific to you. Well, Windows G, is that the one if you've got game mode enabled? I think that's the gamer mode recording thing. Sometimes the alpha omega numbers get obscured by the other indicators. Do you have a hack to bypass this? Yeah, I do. Get a bigger monitor. You can't see that that's 10.7. I can see it's 10.7 on a 27-inch screen. Okay, but yeah, my mitigation is get a bigger screen. And again, if you're parting hairs with that number, I don't really have, for a full auto system that would be taken into account, but it's not that important when you're looking for it being used in Confluence. I think that if you're going to get a beautiful alpha inside of a shark cipher, you're going to try to take that short, right? Whether it's a 10 or something else, it doesn't really matter. Like, you want to take that play. It's the imbalance that really matters. If it's in Confluence with other things, that's what you want. But yeah, I totally get that. But no, I don't really have a hack or bypass for that at this time. On Tide and Wave charts, is it okay to keep data series set to 3 days, or will that mess up the auction imbalance calculations for the alpha mega? No, in fact, it's the opposite. The more that you actually have, the more accurate the auction imbalances are going to be. It really has to do with your computer. If your computer is handling it well, then 3 days is fine. Be careful 3 days on NASDAQ. For most people, again, there's just so many bars being printed, 3 days tends to wreck. Can you do it on the ES? Yeah, ES, 100%. RTY is probably fine. Even YM, set it to 3 days, not going to be a problem for the Sunday stuff. In fact, even mine is all set to 3 days, and it's fine. I have to play to the lowest bidder here in our room to make sure that everybody's works. I know that if you just set it to 1 day, that your system's going to function well. But yes, if you want to set to 3 days and your computer is running fine with it, then absolutely. Lowest time frame, also though, remember, take a note, like that one still, I would recommend 500 bars, particularly for NASDAQ, or if you're having any kind of issues. Do not set these other ones to 500 bars, please. Don't set these. But this one right here alone, yes, this one right here is in our templates already set to 500 bars and is not a day count. Okay. What do we got here? In small account challenge number 44. Could you elaborate a bit more on what you mean by traction zone, specifically on the RTY? short, you were there. Okay, traction, if I said that, I kind of think of like a tractor beam. There must have been a PRZ down there, or a line on the RTY as to why I held it out longer. If I said the word traction zone, so I might have said in a traction zone or tractor beam, kind of sucking it into a location. Where do I want to target? I was talking about pushing my targets out, I assume. Traction zone. I guess I have to go back and watch that video. But I believe if I'm saying that, I tend to mean that I'm looking for a spot that I want to target. So in a case like this, so like that white line is an attraction zone or a traction zone, a tractor beam sucking price down to it. I might want to see that. Or if I've got something down here looking for a target, that's generally what I'm going to be talking about on that, which will be just an additional catalyst to any entry that I'm already taking. So I believe that's what was going on there. When's the next ICT video? They're good to watch. Can you do a documentary style series? Trident, yes, that is 100% coming. In fact, I've already got volunteers to do the documentary style for me, so I don't have to do the video editing because I just would be good at it. So I'm going to hand that off to a professional, and I'm going to summarize all of the ICT stuff and documentary style when we're done with this season. But man, I've got some amazing stuff still to blow your guys' minds on the ICT fraud network, and now he's out there talking about his kids and stuff like this, bringing his kids into it, whatnot. I mean, it's just pretty sick. You know, look, if the guy thinks his stuff works, you can think that it works all freaking day long, but don't go out there and tell everybody that you're some, you know, multimillionaire, you know, trader and whatnot when you're, you know, living in a dump. I'm sorry, bro. It's not gonna happen. So let's see. Hello, sir. Does the SMLK lines no, the same settings, the number of drawings, and 25 bar threshold? That changes. The hookage, yeah, I don't want to get into all the little nitty gritty details of what settings. Again, you'll know what those settings are by opening up the latest. Make sure you install the latest. You said this back on 5/22. I did a release after that date. So make sure you go and just get the latest. Easiest way to solve that. And open up the workspace and you'll see all the settings that I've got. Again, there's a lot of settings there. I don't want to go through those individually and take up too much time. If there was something specific around that were important, then yes, but you know, it's not that vitally important to change what you're doing. Did a purchase to have the full auto access? Yes, if you buy right now, yes, you'll get full auto until the old website goes away. Got the terms, okay. You mentioned a lot of lessons 1 through 6 in your 7 explain HMD. Watch those, get on the dot colors, etc. Listen to ones that I don't remember any of that getting mentioned. Just wondering where you can find that info. Okay, if you are watching the videos in the proper order, I do need to make a video around this, I think, because some people do get confused as to like what videos and what order that we're talking about. There are 2 phases. If you're in the free, kind of the free zone where you're just kind of kicking the tires, testing things out, you go over here into training, and he's asking about one of these, talking about, he's watching one video and it's talking about lessons 1 through 6. It's going to be the core in lesson library number 4. All right, the core in number 4. All right, write that down. All the rhymes and reasons, like I try to do for keeping things where you can remember things, and brain remembers rhymes a lot easier than other things, for everything from acronyms and acrostics, all that kind of fun stuff, the rhyme and the reason. So the core is in library 4. All right, so these are the ones in library 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That is your core. And as far as asking HMDs and stuff like that, you should have already learned those in the first sets. So entry strats, if you watch these in the proper order. So I'm a little bit nervous as to how you're saying that you saw one video and that it's referencing something that you haven't learned yet. That means you're not watching the videos in the proper order. So come back to the proper training lessons. If you were in number 2, the very one that you're talking about, HMD, headshots, shark tails, all those are talked about first before you get into the core, before in library 4, before the core. I don't know. So I don't know what you're complaining about or what you're talking about. If you watch them in the proper order here in our training section, this is for people who are in the 2-week free trial or kicking the tires. You'll go through these. Once you purchase premium training, there is a separate section of training that you go through inside of our Discord channel chat. And as of today's date, there are 102 videos, longs and shorts, in there. Some of them as quick as 45 seconds, some of them as long as an hour and a half. to go through our training as a premium member, a little bit different. But kicking the tires, learning enough, and learning about our system and all that should be plenty to go out there and watch the 36 videos out there on our new website in order in those lesson libraries 1 through 6. Guide me on where to learn about AlgoBox. Yes, start with the Start Here section and then go through the training videos on the website. Favorite tick size chart for scalping in queue out. Favorite tick size target scalping. So on NQ, the minimum is 10 tick. There you go. Great. That. No point in getting less than 10 ticks on the NASDAQ when that thing moves, 15, 25 ticks in a cloth very easily to be able to take out half of that on a regular basis, if that's talking about NQ. So minimum. He's asking minimum, right? Favorite tick. And well, he's actually asking favorite. So again, for me, the favorite is I love the quickest money I can get. Quick it, click it, click it, and click it and tick it. So I'm in now. That's my favorite. I don't like to wait around. So I like it when we hit quick. So I would say 10 is my favorite. Buy golds, very good decision, opinion. Awesome. How to buy a premium trial 2 days ago. So I wrap my head around it. Scheduled a call. Oh, great. Hopefully we got on a call. I don't. Probably need to catch up on some calls. So probably this Friday I'll catch up on most calls. Videos optimizing the headshot algo. So that's premium members only. Find some on Lunchbot. Okay, well, there's also some on Headshot. I'm sorry, there's also some on Two Finger Salute and Lunchbot. But as far as Headshot goes, again, that's going to be premium members only. And honestly, I wouldn't worry about it. If you're not buying before this Friday, you're not going to have full auto anyways, so don't sweat it. This was the completion of that move. Again, amazing to see the beginning and the end play out. Oof, man, that is so, yeah. Beautiful stuff there, so excellent. Sharing that. There's a lot going on. I wanted to take sure to increase alpha. I love it. We had some videos around that. I don't have any specific separate ones, but in these Mentorship Mondays, we've been covering that. We'll do separate videos on that for sure. Yeah, we answered this already. You do not need level 2 data, just level 1, also known as top of book. Traders who like to trade slow, 2 to 3 trades per day. Yeah, well, look, again, this is what's always funny. Like when people like make their, at least he's defined what slow would be. Okay, that's not how I would define slow, but he said if I want slow 2 to 3 trader, what algo bars would you suggest for? So, man, that's a hard question. I don't know why. Why are you obsessed with that? Like, here's my question: why are you? How about I answer your question back? Why 2 or 3 trades a day? And how long do you want to sit at your desk for? Do you literally want to sit at your desk all day for 2 or 3 trades? And why? For what? You think you get paid more? Like, what's the deal? I don't. Help me to understand this. Honestly, I want to come back to this question. But the first thing I would say is like, help me to change your opinion on why. Do you think you're going to get paid more for this? Like, don't you want to get paid more faster rather than paid less slower? MACD time frame needs to be changed too. But yes, the answer is yes. If you move up time frames, then that does change. I will point you to the scale any time frame video. And to do that, go exclamation mark scale. So scale any time frame. Go watch this video on scale any time frame, so you'll know what we do. But yes, you'll see me show you how to adjust all of your charts if you did want to scale up. If you have just an absolute obsession as to why you want to do that, and I talk about some of the advantages of why and scenarios where you might want to do that, particularly when the volatility is super high. I want to do that. Settings match to refresh, installed IntraTrader, algo to test. Things still same issue. Yeah, I'm not sure what was going on with that issue. Let me know, Chooch, if you're still having that. I think it's cleared up. That seemed like some data issues that day, but I think you were also looking at end of day, right? Yeah, I mean, you're looking at after hours stuff. You're like, Vinny, why is it all clustered up at the end of day after hours? Earnings reports, end of day. Like, doesn't count. You're literally talking about after 4 o'clock into the weird hours of them opening, just closing and opening stuff. Can't say that that's like, it's like asking what happens at the open. Check your settings. Okay, you got that. Oh, and then we are back to 18. Guessing you didn't apply the new workspace. You missed the mentorship last week. Okay, cool. I think we have covered them all. Wow. Tonight was a longer one. 2 hours and 40 minutes. Man, you guys who hung in here the whole time with me, you guys are rock stars. I'm gonna have to go get a drink just to parch my throat here. And any other questions over there in the chat, or if anybody wanted to wrap anything up with the open mic? I saw Gutty was in here. Gutty, did you have any questions you want to answer or ask on the chat? We can do that. I had one member ask me a question earlier tonight.
No, it's okay.
Sam B, are you out here? He's asking about, he had a hard year last year, not with us, but came and saw us. He lost about 150K trying to chase stuff on his own. Sam B, if you're available, I don't mind. I got a lot of questions around what you were trading, how you were trading, stuff like that. And if you want to know how we're different, we can't guarantee anybody, making money with any system. But if you want to know how we're different or what we're doing different, we can have a conversation around it. But let me know what you have done in the past, what you're used to, and we can try to fit the questions to answer those for you if you are wondering what we do that might make your trading any different. Okay, going once, going twice. Everybody good? All right, everybody who made it to the end here, let's spam the chat. I don't know. How about what do we want to spam? How about spam your favorite food? We're gonna go with food. What should I order this week? Something I should have on my menu. Should I do sushi, barbecue, steak? Maybe something fancy and crazy I've never tried before. And let's spam it on the way out, because that helps the YouTube algorithm be like, oh yeah, even on his close of his video, it's pretty cool. Because what we want to do with this new channel is, like, some people have said, Vinny doesn't grow his channel. Nobody wants to see his stuff. Well, yeah, because I'm very negative. I've gone out there. I've slammed on scammers. I don't glad hand with anybody. I don't cooperate with all these other foo gurus and fakes and scammers. We go against the grain, but they want to see what happens if we start playing the game of the YouTube algorithm and doing all the fun stuff and all that kind of whatnot. Okay, this is going to be a clean channel over here. All the negativity is going to stay over there on my other channel. We'll be busting scammers over there on Vinnyzilla channel, and this one over here on Algobox Pro will all be education, training, all that kind of good stuff, and we'll just be all smiles, and I'll be like, Ross Cameron, Warrior Trading, super nice guy with the ponytail. What's going on, everybody? Hey, how's it going? So we'll do the glad handing and all of that fun stuff, and encouraging people to smash that like button, smash it like you mean it, and I'll donate 50 cents to charity for every like button that you guys put on there. So smash that like button and do that kind of fun stuff. I'm down with it. What's chapati? I don't even know what chapati is. Is that a thing? What's chapati? That sounds yum. Korean barbecue. I like the sound of that. Tacos. Ooh, Taco Tuesday. Is tomorrow Tuesday? Is that my excuse for Taco Tuesday tomorrow? All right, I'm down with it. Thanks for hanging out with me, folks. For me, Pippi, Robbie, Lunchbot, Mossbot, Curtis, G, and the rest of the gang, I am sending out the big H sound. See ya. Welcome aboard, everyone. Is out the box, and why do our traders absolutely love it? Michael Oates room.